Hello, cryptocurrency fans. All right, crazy things are happening. Crazy shenanigans on Ethereum, on Coinbase. I haven't looked at, or GDAX. I haven't looked at other exchanges to see exactly what it's doing. And this is kind of a spur of the moment type of live stream. I did not expect this to happen at all, but Ethereum drops at $13 within a matter of seconds. Came right back up with a vengeance. Came right back up to $317.82 after that crazy drop. But ever since then, it's just been hovering in that 298 range. And if you guys were on my live stream earlier, you guys know before I left what I did. I put in a low ball offer, thinking it was a low ball offer to buy Ethereum at what I thought would be a very cheap price, but definitely was not a cheap price. And let me see if I can get some of my things up. Yeah, and of course GDAX is down currently right now. Oni, what's up, buddy? Have any low balls in? I did before I had to leave after the live stream. Yeah, $250 was my low ball offer. Never thought it would actually get there. Never in my mind thinking, okay, while I'm gone, it'll hit that 250 because I wouldn't have put it in for 250 at all. So yeah, definitely executed. And when I took a look at it, GDAX showed that I had 112 Ethereums that I purchased at 250, but it also showed that I had an open order for that same amount, and it will not allow me to close it out at all. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, this could be the start of something major, And this is pretty scary. This is pretty scary with some of these exchanges. And I think it might be time to kind of pull money out and get it off of these exchanges. But let's see what some of you guys are saying. But yeah, I wish GDAX would load for me. But yeah, I sent them a tweet. And I could have been worse. And I just basically asked them, why can't I close out my position on Ethereum? This is crazy. I want to get out of my position, but you won't allow me to. And that's because their site just is completely down currently at this moment. So I have 112 Ethereums that I purchased at 250. And if this thing tanks any further, then they will liquidate that account, of course. I don't know what the liquidating the call price is, but I'm surprised that when it actually dropped to 13 cents and I purchased at 250 that they didn't already liquidate that account at 20, 30 cents. So that would mean that all my money is basically gone. Everything that I built up within the past 3-4 months has completely disappeared, if that is the case. But I don't know if they liquidated it or not because I really can't even get to that exchange. So when I saw it earlier, yes, it did indicate that I had the coins, but it also indicated that I had an open order for the same amount of ethers. And then when I went to close out the margin, at least to satisfy the margin part, it would not allow me to satisfy it. Is it time to buy Ethereum? Man, anybody that had a lowball offer just for the hell of it, definitely made out. I mean, if you had a lowball offer, 20, 30, 40, 50, even $100, you definitely made out, but you can't sell. That's the problem right now, is you cannot sell at all. So let me get to some of these other exchanges and see exactly what is going on with the price of Ethereum. And then I'll try to get to some of the messages. That's circling the toilet bowl. Yeah, dude, that is the truth. It is, man. This is just a crazy drop. This should not have happened at all. This is not safe. And it's basically shown us how unsafe it is. For it to drop to $13, like, that's just ridiculous. Like, nothing drops from $300 to $13. And when I was at the bank for about 2 hours, and I was watching it on my phone. I mean, I didn't even think I was going to break 300. It was at 304, and I was like, yeah. I was like, my offer of 250 is not going to get executed. I was like, I'll take a look at it when I get home and see maybe, if I can get in at 310, 315 for possible, rise up to $350. But that's definitely not the case at all. But let's take a look and see what is it doing on some of these other exchanges. Actually, let me look at probably Bittrex since it's in USD. Actually, Bitfinex. So that only happened on GDAX, really? Yeah, Ethereum showing 302 bucks, but let's take a look at the chart though, because Ethereum is still showing, under 300 bucks, 298 on GDAX. So let me look at the chart and see if it actually fell. Yeah, that was only on GDAX. I mean, the lowest really we got to, let me see if I can enlarge these charts. So, I mean, once I saw that it had actually dropped to 290, and I was like, oh, let me look at my account because, I'll take a look at that order that I put in. It actually fell to, let's see, 293. So yeah, that's not a bad at all for it. But yeah, when I saw it drop to 290, and that was just basically looking at the top ticker, I was like, oh, let me click on it. And I saw that it had actually dropped to 13. I was like, that can't be right. So I looked at Crypto Watch, and I was like, whoa, it did. On a 1 minute candlestick, it dropped. And then when I was finally able to see GDAX and my account, I was like, all right, I have 112. I was like, let me sell this right now for a $50 profit per coin. I was like, I need to get out. But yeah, it will not allow me to get out of the trade. Yeah, I do not feel comfortable holding at all. No way. Only who made out like a bandit? Definitely not me. I didn't make out like a bandit at all. I mean, even though, I'm up 50 bucks per coin currently right now as it shows, but you guys are, let me see, I'm screen sharing right now. So you guys can see on the left-hand side that I have in my balance 112.428 Ether. So I'm negative $10,000 because I did use a leverage of $10,000. But then in my open orders, it shows that I have an open order for that same exact amount. Even if I tell it to cancel my open orders, it won't cancel it. I mean, any way that I try to cancel what's open or even say close position, it shows that I have 0 Ethereums. So it's really contradicting, what it's actually showing me on the balance. The balance is showing that I have those 112 Ethers, but when I click on close account, it shows that I have 0. Like I don't have any Ethers at all to be able to close out. So yeah, this is pretty crazy. This is crazy. And who knows, by the time they get this up and running, what it's going to do. I'm glad it's stabilizing. But, if anybody was looking at the order book when this dump happened, please let me know. I don't know if you were recording it or took a screenshot, but I would love to look at the order book and see exactly what happened at that specific price point when it decided to dump. Just for me to have an idea of how many coins were sold at what specific price, because something caused this thing to tank. And I don't know. I mean, Coinbase could be behind it. I mean, they could have definitely been loading up and buying anything. All these stop losses got taken out. They could have been sitting there and buying them. Luca, hello, welcome. Yes, GDAX is down. Is it time to buy ETH? Oh man, not right now. It's 300 bucks. But I mean, if you were watching this thing and you see it dropping, I mean, it dropped within a minute. So I mean, it dropped quick and made it right back up. And I mean, if we really look at, let me pull up. Hopefully, I didn't close it out. I did close it out. Okay, let me switch to Ethereum. I hope they get this back up and running. I mean, I would love to close out this position at 300 bucks and just be happy with the $5,600 profit. I'd even be happy with like a 10-cent profit, or just to break even as long as I'm out of this thing. Screen cap it. I don't know what that means. Yeah, GDAX glitched out. As soon as I saw the drop, well, really, I didn't see the drop to 13 bucks. I just kind of saw it at 290, and I was like, whoa, why is this thing at 290? And that was basically right at this candlestick right here. That's when I saw it. So I didn't see this drop at all to 13 bucks. I didn't see the rise back up to $317.82 was a high, and then the low on this candlestick, this green candlestick, was $73.99. But if we take a look at the volume was nothing. So there couldn't have been many trades that were made. I mean, the volume on that large candlestick dip from 317 down to 13 bucks was only 7,930 coins that in that volume that trade. The second volume was, looks like 1,000, let's just say 1,700, 1,800. So the volume was tiny. It was nothing. So something caused this thing to massively crash. Somebody, with a lot of coins probably maybe had fat fingers and hit, market sell, and there wasn't enough coins out there to absorb what he wanted at a very high price. And it basically just started absorbing every buy orders. That's the only thing I can think of. So, if that person sold, let's see, the volume on this was, what do we say? Let's just say 8,000. So if, somebody had, 2,000 or 3,000 Ethereums and they hit market sell, it's going to cause a huge slippage. And that's exactly what happened here. I mean, this is a big slippage. The price just continuously started slipping down to get all of his or her or they order executed. And when you click on that market order, I mean, you're selling at the market level. So whoever has a buy-in at that specific price is what is going to be executed. And if there aren't enough people to support it or enough buyers to support this at a very high price, it's going to slip down. So anybody that had a very lowball offer definitely got it executed. And yeah, they're probably sitting there and being like, all right, you know what? I purchased it at 20, 30, 40, 50, even $100. And now it's up to 300. I don't think they're worried about their position, considering they bought it so cheap. But me, I bought it at 250, thinking 250 would never execute. Because at 250, really 253 was the low that it had actually set after it went up to $420. So I had no clue that this was going to be dropping to 250. So for me to put in a 250 offer was just kind of wishful thinking, saying, oh, you know what? I mean, I know it's not going to drop there, but who knows? It might actually drop there, but what do we know? It dropped to $13 fucking dollars. $13. So it's a crazy market. This is the Wild Wild West. This is the true Wild Wild West. And actually, I'm going to change this title a little bit. GDAX is the Wild Wild West. And I've said it before. I mean, this cryptocurrency market is the Wild Wild West. And I think, she basically just proved to us that it is a Wild Wild West and crazy things can happen. I mean, especially if you have a stop loss put in there. I think I got to refresh YouTube. But yeah, let's see what GDAX does. And I'm hoping that, she stabilizes. Considering she's very stable at a lot of other exchanges, it's a good sign that it's not crashing on every exchange. Still showing the same thing, showing that I have the Ether and my balance, and it's showing that I have an open order for that same amount that I put in 5 hours ago before I had to run to the bank, right after the first live stream that I did. Let's see if it even allows me to close it out. Yeah, even if I try to close it out, it indicates I don't have any Ether to close out. So a couple things are just kind of contradicting themselves. So who knows? Maybe when it's up and running, Coinbase or GDAX will null and void that order that I put in at $250.01. Let me see if I can get to some of these comments and be able to chat with you guys while hopefully GDAX is working. And let me try to get some of my charts up as well too. Yeah, but I wasn't prepared to do a live stream, so I didn't really have my charts working. All right, under 300 on Bitfinex, and that could just be because of the domino effect that GDAX would have had. But yeah, this drop is massive. It is massive. And I probably got to look at different time frames here. But yeah, now, it really makes charting and plotting out your lines on Ethereum pretty tough. It really does, because currently, I mean, we got basically one crazy line. I'm going to get rid of all these indicators, all these. So really, I mean, the only way for me to be able to take a look at this possible trend is if I get is if I basically scroll rid of that candlestick that dropped it to 13 bucks. So plotting out support and resistance is going to be probably one of the toughest things on this, considering this crazy little drop that we had. And and that's the thing about the cryptocurrency market. There aren't things in place to protect traders or investors. There's no circuit breaker. As in the stock market, there are what's called circuit breaker. And if it drops 5% within a matter of minutes, it basically halts all trading, just to kind of calm the storm, calm people's fear, and to stop panic selling. And then after a couple minutes, they'll start it back up again. And if it drops another 5% within a minute or so, they'll halt it again, and they'll keep halting it and halting it. Eventually, they'll just halt it for an extended period of time. But that doesn't exist. Those regulations that the SEC put through are not in place on this crazy wild, wild west cryptocurrency market that we're all involved in. Let's see what you guys are saying. And I'm just going to make sure, just open up GDAX just in case it comes back on. Luce, I don't know if I responded to you, to your comment. Is it time to buy Ether? Not at 300 bucks, it's not. If you would have caught this earlier, yes, definitely. A lot of people probably made out pretty good. Yeah, I looked at the other exchange, so I mean, they seem to be somewhat stable on the other exchanges, but that could turn anytime. That could really turn. Sell, ETH, or buy. I mean, I don't know what exchange you're on, but on Coinbase or GDAX, it's not allowing me to sell. It's not allowing anything. Exactly, GZ Mac. It's not your money when you can't hold it with. If you hold it with an exchange and you can't get it out, absolutely, yeah. And with this crazy stuff that's going on, it might be time for me to pull 90% of it out and only leave maybe play with $2,000 and not be playing with 18,000. I mean, if I'm able to get out now, I mean, it's a $5,000 profit, $5,600 profit if I can get out at the specific price point. But who knows? I mean, this thing could drop again. It could really drop again. But considering GDAX is down, there shouldn't be anybody buying or selling. There shouldn't. And if there is buying and selling that's going on, it's the exchanges that are manipulating this. It's the exchanges that are buying or selling. And who are they buying and selling to? More than likely they're buying, but they're buying them from, the stop limits that are put in, and they're causing the stop limits to be taken out. Am I a margin? Yeah, I leveraged about $10,000 worth of margin. So I had about 18,000 to play with. And I leveraged the 10,000 that they give me. So that's why that count shows negative $9,999. So I mean, once I sell, yes, 10,000 will go back to cover the margin, and then the rest will be profit. The $5,600 will be pure profit. You bought it at 262. Yeah, you're good now, but I'm sure you're panicking, TJ. I mean, if I would have seen this thing as it was tanking, I would have panicked. And I actually, I walked away from my computer. When I realized that I could not sell and it had dipped to 13 bucks, I was like, let me walk away from my computer before I grab my monitor and toss it out the window. And I called my business partner, ECS, and just to say, hey, are you watching the shenanigan that's going on with GDAX? And he wasn't watching it. He was kind of away. But yeah, it's, I just needed somebody to talk to kind of ease my mind from tossing my my monitors out the window. I was very close, very close. What's on Crypto Watch? Let me see. Yeah, and I mean, that's how I'm basically able to follow it. I look at Crypto Watch just to see what the price was, because when I looked at GDAX, I didn't think it was real that it dropped to 13 bucks. I didn't think so at all. I'm like, that has to be a glitch. I mean, we know exchanges can be a little glitchy, but then when I looked at Crypto Watch, I was like, whoa, it did drop. And then I was able to try to go in and sell, but yeah, couldn't sell at all. Sherry, welcome. Can't get into Coinbase. Yeah, Scott, nobody can get in. So that's what I mean. Like, there shouldn't be any buying or selling that's going to be going on. There shouldn't. And if there is buying and selling that's going on, it's the exchange that's causing this. So anybody that would have had a limit order in the book, yes, they would have had them executed, even though nobody could log in, nobody could put in any buy orders. I mean, those limit orders are in the book. They're in the book. So if the exchange kind of goes, they stop people from logging onto the exchange or stop people from buying and selling. The only people that are buying and selling are really the exchange. And that's kind of what I saw. I'm like, okay, it's not allowing me to sell, but I do see transactions going through. I do see things that are happening. So if nobody's able to sell or buy, I'm assuming nobody was also able to buy. Unless you guys were able to buy. I know, TJ, you bought at 262. So I'm assuming when you bought it at 262, like that drop was just starting, I'm assuming, before really the collapse happened and before really GDAX decided to get a little glitchy. But yeah, I'm assuming if you try to sell right now, TJ, you probably can't sell, is what I'm assuming. But yeah, what's probably going to happen with this is they're going to null and void. Either they're going to liquidate the account because I mean I bought at 250 and it dropped to 13 bucks. I mean I have a call price at a certain amount. I don't know what that call price was, but that call price was probably 100 bucks, 150 bucks, and it ripped through that 150 bucks to get to 13. So more than likely, a couple things could happen with this. A is they could liquidate the account, worst case scenario, and I would basically lose everything that I had. Maybe I don't know. I'd be lucky if I have like $1,000 in this account after all is said and done. B, they could null and void that transaction as though it never happened, which I would be completely fine with. Or the third option would be allow the trade to go through, and I actually have 112.428 Ethereums as it states in the order book on the left-hand side. But until we figure out what's going on and this glitch stops, then yeah, there's no way for me to determine exactly what GDAX or shady Coinbase is probably going to end up doing. But the price has stopped, I mean, because there is no trading that's happening. So $301.97 is the price. Let me see, a lot of sellers. 302, 666, 128, 95. A good amount on the buy side, 553, but not as much as it is on the sell side. GDAX is back up for you. Let me hit refresh. Welcome back, Dylan. Yeah, let me know if anybody's able to place a low ball buy offer. Let me know if you're able to place a low ball buy offer. Don't try to buy it at this price, but put in a low ball offer for 100 bucks. Try to buy one at 100 bucks and see if it allows you to. Dylan, I don't know if you have any funds available. See if it'll allow you to put in a limit buy order, and just put in that low ball offer. Maybe put in for 50 bucks. One Ethereum at 50 bucks, just to see if it allows you to do it. I'm a trader. Yeah, from what I've heard, I really haven't. I only looked at Bitfinex, and I know on Bitfinex it didn't really have the same drop as GDAX. So let's see. Let's go back to Bitfinex. I wonder if my okay, Ethereum Classic never got executed at 16 bucks. It's at 18 bucks now. 292, 293 current price for Ethereum, but I don't think it dropped to 13 bucks. I don't even think it dropped to under 200. Let's see what the low was. I mean, it's still downtrending, but this could be, like I said, I mean, it could be a domino effect based on what happened to Ethereum on GDAX. So yeah, the low, I mean, it's still at its low at 293, 292.70. So no violent crash on Bitfinex, at least. Knock on wood, not yet, at least. Not yet. But yeah, I might have to even change my Ethereum Classic, because if things just start dumping, it's going to have a huge, crazy domino effect. I'm actually just going to change it to 10 bucks. I just don't feel comfortable, you know, with that crazy dump that happened. 10 bucks for, I don't know, 409, I think. I don't think it's going to get to 10 bucks, but if we do have a crazy dip and everything starts to dip, you know, there's a possibility. Bruce Anderson, yeah, that's funny, dude. Safe to say GDAX shit the bed from mass numbers of stop losses. They made out, dude. They made out. I firmly believe they made out, and I should probably tweet that out to them. You know, how much did you guys make off Ethereum today? Is what I should ask them, because you know they had their hands in it. They had to. I mean, you know, we weren't born yesterday, guys. I mean, you know, come on. We know they definitely had their hands in it. So what was his order? Do you remember, Oni? And I haven't gotten on Slack. I mean, once I got back, you know, I was just kind of doing something small, and then I was like, oh, it dropped to 290. I'm like, let me look at my order and just to see if that's even, you know, the 250 is going to be a great entry for me. I would have never thought it would hit 250. I mean, who knew it would hit 13 bucks? His positions are in general. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to go get on Slack now, but later on, I'll get on Slack. Yeah, you know, and I think I said it earlier on the first live stream. You know, ICO bubble. The ICO bubble could be here. You know, I mean, everything is Ethereum based or Ether based. Let's see, Dulo, you saw the order book at 180 to 200. So, I mean, were there a lot of trades that were being executed at that 180 to 200? I mean, of course, yeah, mine got executed at 250. So any low ball offers got executed. I mean, anybody that had a low ball offer, and more than likely, I mean, they probably couldn't even go in and cancel them if GDAX was a little glitchy at that time. Let's see, TJ saying, you're watching, never seen orders taken in and out so fast. Yeah, dude, I'm sure that candlestick just dropped violently. And I would have loved to see how many times, you know, it went up and down just on that 1 minute candle. I mean, this is a 6 hour candle, but I mean, this is a 1 minute candlestick. I mean, they brought it right back up. You know, that was a nice thing. I mean, it dropped all the way down here. So this was at one point a full body red candle with no wick at all. And then, of course, you know, people that had their buy orders in started bringing it up, or people that were sitting there watching this and being like, it's at 13 bucks, it's at 20 bucks. I got to buy as many as I can, putting in their orders. And yeah, they made out. And I'll have to kind of look at Twitter and see if anybody's ranting and raving about their great Ethereum execution. But yeah, imagine, I mean, who bought at 13 bucks? I mean, imagine somebody buying at 20 bucks, you know, and they bought a good amount. Let's just say they bought 100, you know, because they decided, you know, I'm going to put a low ball offer in. You know, I know it's never going to get there, but who knows? Just for the hell of it, for shits and giggles, I'll buy 100 at 20 bucks, you know, spending $2,000 or, you know, using $2,000 of the capital for it. And then looking at their account now, and they're like, woo, I'm up, you know, $28,000 is 30,000. If my math is correct, 300 times 100. That's $30,000. So that 2,000 would have gotten 30,000 if they bought it at 20 bucks and they bought 100. But yeah, there are no trades going through from what I can see. At 4:05 was the last trade that happened. Shit base is down as well. Yeah, maybe that's what I should tweet them. Coinbase is turning to shit base. Yeah, I mean, every exchange has their issues. You know, I mean, that's for granted. Every exchange will have their issues, you know. But I mean, they spend millions of dollars on this technology to not allow this to happen. You know, to not allow me to get out of my position, to not allow anybody to buy or sell. That's ridiculous. Let's see what Delo's saying. I was telling myself I should sell at 318. Then I look at the order book and it was at 180. Yeah, dude. Hopefully, a lot of people would have probably jumped out the window. Especially if they bought high. Bought at 300 bucks, and it's they're seeing it drop to 180. 150, breaking 100 with a vengeance. I mean, I wish I was watching this to see exactly how what it did. Was Bitcoin even affected? No, Bitcoin was not affected. Let's take a look at something else. How is 13 even possible? Oh man, anything's possible in this cryptocurrency world. Anything is possible. Yeah, dude. Yeah, like I said, the only thing I can speculate on what might have happened is that somebody had a lot of ether to sell, and instead of them putting in a limit sell order, they clicked on market buy or market sell order accidentally. So let's just say hypothetically, they had 1,000 that they've been accumulating and accumulating and accumulating, and they realized, okay, you know what, this ICO bubble was happening. I'm going to sell everything. I'm going to get out, and they didn't pay attention to what they were clicking on, and they hit market sell. So when they hit market sell, let's just say for that 1,000 ether, possibly there's not a single buyer sitting there at that top price for 1,000 ether. The buyers are all spread out at different price points and different ether that they're looking to buy. So it's going to be a domino effect. It's going to take out all those buy orders and start lowering the price and lowering the price until that whole 1,000 ether is completely absorbed and completely sold out. And by that time, the price would dip to 13 bucks. And then, of course, buyers just are buying this up and bringing it right back up to where it came from. That's the only thing that I can think of, is that somebody had fat fingers and clicked market sell instead of limit sell. I can't think of anything else. I mean, I wish I was watching this when it happened. Let's see, Alex placed an order at 252 and left the computer for 2 hours, came back, and it got filled. Just trying to sell now. So are you able to sell, Alex? Because I can't sell. I got it at $250 and 1 cent. I can't sell at all. I don't think anybody's able to sell. I mean, GDAX is completely down. They are out for the count. It's lights out for them. Oh, okay. Let's see what happened here. Oh, they did liquidate my account. They completely liquidated this. Oh, I'm going to raise hell now. Now that it's back up, yeah, they completely liquidated this account. Wow. Huh. All right, guys, I gotta go because this is kind of irritating now. It's very irritating. So yeah, I'm gonna end this live stream because I'm pretty frustrated right now that GDAX just completely screwed with me, and I'm gonna try to contact their customer support and see what to do, because this is just wow. Yeah, I think I need more than a cigar. Yeah, they completely. I mean, yeah, and I knew this was going to happen. It was either A, B, or C that was going to happen, and I can't believe. Wow. Yeah, it's my fault. I mean, I got to take some responsibility on it because I did leverage margin. I mean, the call price was at 91 bucks, so at 91 bucks they executed it, and I couldn't even sell. I mean, even if I wanted to sell, I couldn't even sell. All right, guys. I'm gonna end this live stream. I'm gonna take a little break, kind of compose myself, calm down. But yeah, that was a big hit. That was probably the biggest hit of my life I've ever taken, and I've taken some big hits before. Man. What does liquidation mean? It means that there's a call price. So, if the price falls below a certain amount, they will instantly liquidate that account. And I've talked about it earlier, where they will liquidate it. So let's just say the call price. So the call price on this had to be, somewhere in the $93 range. So if the price, I got in at 250, if the price ever fell to $93, they would liquidate and sell everything in the hopes that it doesn't completely fall through. And I'm kind of glad they didn't do it at 13 cents, because then I would be down to zero. So currently right now, let me look and see. I mean, I have 3.63 ether out of 112. So out of $28,000, there's 2,070 left. So that's a $26,000 hit that by GDAX going down, it completely liquidated it. So I wonder, yeah, let me know if this has happened to you guys as well too, because I know somebody bought at 262. But if you weren't using margin, then yeah, I mean, they didn't liquidate anything because you're using your own capital. Bradley, was that in regards to me? I'm totally wrong. Or who is that in regards to? So you're saying they deload? You're saying that they erased everybody's order that was at $13? Is that what you're telling me? No, I mean, if you were buying at $13 and you were buying, not on margin at all, no, they wouldn't have erased it. They would have probably executed it at $13, whatever you were buying. Let's just say you were buying 10 at $13. Yeah, they would have executed that for you. No, they won't fix it because it's back up, it's running. Unless this is a glitch, unless it's a glitch that I'm seeing. If that's a glitch, then yeah, I'll be fine. But if it's not a glitch, more than likely it's not a glitch, then yeah, they definitely took it away. And I'm just trying to respond to the questions before I get off of this. Have I ever made much from leverage trading? Yeah, I did. I took the account from 8,000 to 22,000. So I mean, yeah, and I do have a little bit of money over on Bitfinex. So basically, I mean, I took 8,000 to 22,000 combined between Bitfinex and Coinbase. I mean, this is not the end of the world. I mean, I could make it back, but it's a huge setback. I mean, the setback is huge. It'll take me, a while to recover. Yeah, I mean, even if I mean, you really can't use stop loss on a margin. You got to sell the margin part. You got to satisfy the margin with a market sell order. And I mean, when I saw it, that's what I was ready to do. I was ready to hit sell, but they executed that. Yeah, risky. Yeah, I mean, you guys can see exactly what happened. Yeah, risky is not even the word, dude. It's you're drinking water out of a fire hydrant. Can I get back? Oh man, it'll take me forever to get back. What did I lose? Oh, dude. I lost, let's see. What did I lose? 16,000. Easy come, easy go. Yeah, dude, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. It's a good thing I have a Corona. I think I might have 2 or 3 Coronas in the fridge, so I'm going to be drinking those Coronas and sitting on my deck. No, Edward, I'm not wrecked for good. I still have 3.63 ether that I'm probably going to end up selling. And the crazy thing is, I mean, let's see how much I paid in fees. It doesn't look like they charged me that much in fees. Like $30 in fees. That's what they charged me. So You know, I was expecting to pay a lot more in fees considering they liquidated those at a market level. And that was at like, you know, 94.46, 93, 93, 92, 91.88. And as you can see, I mean, the larger amount, the 78 Ether, was executed at a lower price of 91.88 and not 94.46. Yeah, I mean, and that's $3. It's not going to make that much of a difference. But it's the fact that, hey, you know what, they liquidated the majority of the coins at 91.88. My leverage was basically 10,000, so they gave me 10,000 to use. So it's not really 10 to 1. It's just a flat 10,000 that they'll give you. Oh, dude, it could happen to anybody. Anybody. Yeah, any exchange that allows you to use margin, you know, we'll have a call price, and they will liquidate at that call price. Yeah, shake it off isn't even the word, man. I gotta like jump it off. It's an unregulated market, indeed. Oh yeah, dude, and I know how risky margin is. I know. I've been trading the markets, you know, the stock markets for years. I know how risky it was. Um, but who knew that Ethereum would be dropping to 13 bucks? You know, from 300 bucks. You know, it's an unrealistic drop. It really is. It's not a realistic drop. Always take profits and then play with the house money, and that was my goal. You know, once I saw it at 300, I was like, all right, I got to get out. I got to take profits, and that was the problem. It would not allow me to take profits at all. Not sure what happened on Exodus, but Doji coin balance went up to 6,000. Let me look at Polonius because, well, actually, I'll look at Coin Market Cap. Well, actually, not Coin Market Cap. What am I saying? Let me look at and see what Doge is doing. It doesn't seem to be doing anything on my end. It's 112 Satoshis. Do I anticipate everything taking a significant drop from this? I don't know, man. It really, I mean, everything has not taken a significant drop. Just Ethereum, and I wish I wouldn't have played Ethereum today. You know, I wish I would have put in a lowball offer for Litecoin. You know, at that 37.21 that I was looking for. Yeah, I would have never executed, and I really didn't think. Um, you know, if Ethereum did drop to 250, that was going to be great because there's no way that it's going to drop, you know, to 150, to 100, to 50, nonetheless, the 13 bucks. Let's see, what was the question? I missed a couple of these questions. Edward's asking, so you are playing with just 2,000 left in your kitty. Yeah, and Coinbase. Yeah, Coinbase really the market value because they left me with a little bit of, they left me with 3.63 Ethereums. That's what they left me with. And the value of that is 2,070 bucks. Now, unless Ethereum really goes to the moon and starts skyrocketing, yeah, it's going to take me a while to make this money back. And there's no way I'm going to make this money back in a timely manner. Yeah, always use your own capital. And that's what I would highly, highly recommend. And somebody asked me, I think it was Sherry, she's like, you know, something about margin. I said, stay away from margin. Stay away from it. Um, you know, I was pretty smart with margin. And this is the biggest hit that I've taken. I've actually only really taken really 3 losses in the cryptocurrency market. And those losses were tiny. And I've leveraged margin numerous times, you know, making, you know, almost 70, 80% of my capital by utilizing margin. But like I said, I mean, who knew that Ethereum was going to be dropping and dropping to 13 bucks from 300? There's just no way. Yeah, if you guys find this helpful, please click that like button because that's probably the only thing that's going to cheer me up today is clicking that like button. I don't know. I wasn't watching, Keith. I wasn't watching the spread at 13 when it dropped to 13 bucks. I had no clue. I only saw it at 290, and when I clicked on, and that was on Crypto Watch, And then when I clicked on GDAX, I saw that I had 112 Ethereums, and I was like, okay, I got to sell. I got to get out. It executed. It's $300. I need to sell this right now, and it would not allow me to sell. Am I going to get off GDAX and trade on another platform? Yeah, definitely. Was it a test from someone or really a typo or click mistake? Who knows? Who knows? It could be either or, to be honest with you. Either or. Yes, and these situations are real. I mean, people can lose a lot of money. Like I said, it's not going to put me out of the game, but it set me back huge. It set me back probably 99%. I don't know how long ETH was at $13, but I'm going to say not long at all. Probably a fraction of a second. Yeah, I had 112 ETH, man. So yeah, they left me with 3 Ethereums. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, they're going to put the blame on me because they have the right to liquidate this at any time without notice at all. So, I mean, ultimately, the blame is on me, and I can't. Yeah, it sucks that it was glitchy, but I can't blame Coinbase. It does suck that they are glitchy, though. But really, that blame is on me, and I will, fully take responsible for that trade. Um, but I had no clue that it would be dropping, to $13. I knew that if it dropped heavily, that they were going to liquidate that account. I knew that for sure. That liquidation was probably at $100, or let's just say 150. But who knew that it would rapidly drop like that within a matter of seconds? And that's the issue. It's a matter of seconds that this happened. Keith, thanks for subscribing, man. I appreciate it. And thanks to anybody that hit that like button, because that's probably the only thing that's going to bring a smile to my face. Gemini ETH is 300. Yeah, I haven't looked at Gemini to see what they might have fallen down to. Yeah, I'm trying to take it pretty well, Rocky Mountain. I'm trying. You would shit all over. Yeah, margin. Yeah, I mean, it could kill you. It could really kill you. And I've said that before. Um, but like I said, I mean, I wouldn't be playing margin on, some of these crap coins. I mean, this is Ethereum. It's pretty solid. I didn't see it dropping. I mean, at the most, it would have probably dropped if there was major selling to 200, not to $13. Yeah, dude, that's dropped to $13. Let me see. Ash is saying these guys need to know that a wick that long is not a normal sell candle. No, it's not, dude. That manipulation and no one. That's manipulation, and no one but a machine could catch that move. Yeah, you're absolutely right, dude. It's these bots, that are completely manipulating it. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get back those 13, man. I really don't. Actually, it was more than 13, 16. And I'm getting ready to buy a house too. That's what sucks. I mean, I got money for the house, but it's just like, man, that was money that I was kind of, thinking about using for other things. Yeah, the volume on that wick was tiny, and I did look at that. It was like under 8,000, I think, was the volume on that candlestick. Yeah, you could easily see this kind of fall, easily with any cryptocurrency. Yeah, whoever bought that $93, 94, 93, 92, 91. Yeah, definitely they're making out. The exchanges are back up. Is it back up? I don't even know if it's back up yet. Is there even any trading that's going on? 109 people watching. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I don't think you can buy F for 13 bucks, buddy. You can't buy F for 13 bucks at this time. Yeah, $301, I think, is what you can buy it for. Yeah, I mean, we all learn from our mistakes, and unfortunately, this was a big mistake for me, a big mistake. But like I said, I mean, nobody knew ETH was going to be dropping. I didn't think it would drop below 200, to be honest with you. I thought I was getting a deal. I thought I was putting in a lowball offer at 250. But an aggressive lowball offer, not too low of an offer. I don't know, man. Ernest asking if F drops, does that mean all alts with F contracts drops too? That's a possibility. I don't know. It could be a domino effect. Damn tube. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, bud. Yeah, accidents happen, man. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to mess with ETH anymore. I've made some good money off ETH. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to mess with ETH anymore. So really, I mean, I gave back, let's see. I lost $2,000 basically. Everything that I lost was basically profit. It was profit that built up within the past 3 months, taking the account from 8,000 to 22,000. So right now I basically have, 6,100 left. So I'm basically down 1,900. But like I said, I mean, that was money that was going to be used for other things, for the move and things like that. And I was, I was kind of not relying on it, but I was like, okay, you know what? I'm glad I made that money. And now we have an extra cushion for things. BTC going to 5,000. I don't know if it's going to do that today. What are the odds that these trades are undone? I don't know. I don't think they will be. I don't think there could be grounds for lawsuit. The SEC, these exchanges are not ruled by the SEC. So I don't know if there are going to be any grounds for a lawsuit. We'll have to see. I don't know. I really don't know. So there are no trades going through. So I couldn't even sell the 3 point whatever ether I have. I couldn't even sell it if I wanted to right now. 3.63 ether. I won't even read that comment, but that was in regards to, so you can buy it at 13. There's always something you can suck. Oh, I needed that laugh. So rumor is a whale actually accidentally sold all orders. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, these lowball offers, I mean, they definitely pay off. I mean, it's very rare that they do happen. It's almost like lightning striking in the same spot twice. They do happen. But this is rare. This is completely rare for Ethereum, for something to drop from 300 bucks at 13 bucks. I mean, that's just rare. I mean, even for it to drop, 50% within a matter of minutes, it can happen, within an extended time period, a couple hours, but not within a minute. So, Clay, you're saying that person that whale lost 30 million? Wow. He lost 30 million. He's a millionaire now. Who's a millionaire now? Definitely not the person that lost 30 million. Well, he might have been a billionaire. Now he's a millionaire. There's another ICO today. Oh, man, we'll see what that does. Bourbon, I think you're still fine, man. You bought 3 Ethereums at 315. You're fine, buddy. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it at all. I don't know what that, I mean, it's frozen, so we don't really know what the actual price is. Yeah, Matt, I'm trying to hang in there, man. I'm trying to hang in there. Stop playing with altcoins and buy Litecoin. Yeah, I think, these exchanges know, they know where the stop loss is, or they're selling that record. They're selling that data. I mean, that data is very valuable. I mean, that data is worth a lot of money. You said somebody put in a bid for 10 cents? Well, it wouldn't have gotten executed at all. Skin coin is a scam. A lot of these coins are a scam. I feel like Ethereum is a scam right now, especially with the way the price reacted on GDAX. Or GDAX is a scam. Who knows? You snag 25 long at 215. That's a great entry. Um, yeah, think of an exit though. So it's not illegal to sell that data? Yeah, I assume it wasn't illegal, Bruce. Yeah, I mean, we're dealing with decentralized exchanges, so anything's possible. They couldn't get away with that, in the traditional financial market. Yes, it does happen, but yeah, the SEC would be there to fine them. And there's a lot of exchanges that have gotten fined. There's a picture of the order book. Oh, dude, I would love to see that picture of the order book. You bought 6 at 255. That's not bad. Ethereum is a system of great Nigerian ICO scams. What do I think about Lisk? I don't know, dude. I'm not even thinking about any cryptocurrencies right now, to be honest with you. Yeah, you know what, Ash, that's pretty. And I've heard this a lot with market makers. Market makers can have access to that. So Ash is basically saying if they're letting market makers know where stops are, limits, etc., then day traders are effed. Yes, you are absolutely right, man. Same with penny stocks and high frequency trading. Yeah, it is, man. I mean, and market makers know, they know where the orders are, where people are stacked up. No, you're right, M. Lieber. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I shouldn't have blamed ETH for it. And you're absolutely right. It happened on GDAX. It's technically not Ethereum's fault. Yeah, I would definitely Hypto Crypto. I don't know if you're part of our Slack chat. If you are, yeah, I would definitely love to see a screenshot or a picture of that. I don't know what it's going to do. We'll see once they get this website working to see if it's going to keep falling or if it's going to stabilize. The current price, I don't know, because considering their exchange is completely frozen. Is it at 310? Yeah, it's just showing 301, 301.97 is what it's showing. No, it was only on GDAX that it dropped that low. No, dude, I couldn't even sell what I have right now, even if I wanted to say, you know what, GDAX, Coinbase, throw my middle finger at them. I couldn't even sell what I wanted to. Like, there's no way. And I would love to just kind of, get out at 300 bucks. I couldn't even transfer it, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I could transfer this at all. Actually, I don't even know why this is showing I have 0 Ethereums right now. That's what it's showing. Showing I have 0 Ethereums and 0 USD. Oh no, let me do the math here. I think actually they took everything. No, they didn't. So they liquidated about 108.8 Ethereums is what they liquidated. But I wonder why it's showing 0. But when I turn margin on, it shows 3.63. TJ, let me see. You learned one lesson. Keep some crazy lowball offers. Yes, and stay away from margin. Don't play with margin. I was pretty smart with margin, and it came back to bite me. Like I said, who knew that it was going to be dropping to $13? Let's see. Can I withdraw? I think they are going to allow me to withdraw. Possibly. See, Keith is saying, what do you expect from a 1,000+% move? Normal market behavior. The blockchain could become one of the most valuable technologies ever. Many massive holders cashing out. Well, you know what the thing is? Really, we can't expect it to drop from 300 down to 13. Like I said, it's an unrealistic drop. It's just not realistic at all. I mean, tell me about one cryptocurrency or one stock that has dropped from $300 down to 13 within a matter of seconds. None. It's never happened. Not that I know of. And I've traded the stock market for the past 11 years. I've never, ever seen it. Yes, gradually over time. Yes, within a couple hours, it will grind down, but not from 300 down to 13 bucks. That's huge. I mean, that's over 1,000% drop. If my math is correct. I don't know. I'm just doing it off the top of my head. Not much volume. I don't know. I'm trying to get a picture, a screenshot of that order book to see what might have happened. Yeah, strong support at 13 bucks. Yeah. Thanks to anybody that's been clicking that thumbs up. It helps me out a little bit. Brings a little bit of smile to my face. Guys, I'm going to mute this for a couple seconds. I won't end the live stream. We'll keep it going, even though it sucks. But I'm gonna step outside for a second and drink a Corona real quick. But maybe 2-3 minutes, I'll be back on. All right, I'm back. And of course, Coinbase is still not working. Let me see if I miss any of these comments. Why can't you hear anything? Because I decided to take a little break and get a Corona and just sit on my balcony for a couple seconds. Ash, was that a something that Coinbase put out saying we're currently investigating sign-in issues on GDAX.com, as well as the cause of a rapid price movement on the Ethereum USD order book? They've disabled margin. Yeah, even if I disable margin, it shows I have 0 Ethereums, but when I activate margin, it shows that I have 3.63 Ethereums. So I'm assuming my call price on that was $92. I'm assuming was my call price. So from that 300, if it dropped to 92, that they would liquidate what they needed to liquidate to cover their amount. So it should actually leave me with a lot more, because really they should have only liquidated $10,000 worth. And let's see if they actually only liquidated $10,000 worth. We'll just times it by 93 bucks. Yep, they did. So there should be a lot more money in this account. There should at least be 6,000 more in this account, or actually 10,000 more in this account. But it's showing 2,000. So let's see if we actually do the math. Where's my calculator? I have 3.63 Ether times whatever the price is now, 300 bucks. Oops, that's not right. It's 3.63. Yeah, it's still foobarred, because yeah, if you do the math with 3.63 Ether at 300 bucks is only $1,000. So it's still somewhat foobarred. It's not displaying this accurately. So hopefully they will fix the issue to display the correct numbers. But yeah, I'll have to sit down and kind of do the math later on to determine. Yeah, Bradley, don't margin trade. Don't margin trade. And I would have never thought this would happen. Never in my wildest dream, thinking that it would drop to 13 bucks from 300. Yeah, I don't think there were too many trades being executed at 13 bucks, to be honest with you. It's probably very little trades that were executed at that price point. And I wish I could see the order book to see exactly what happened within the order book to see at what price point things were being executed. And I'm just trying to scroll up to these messages. There's a lot of messages that I'm kind of missing. Sydney, are you still on margin on GDAX? Or what are you using on GDAX? If you are using GDAX on margin. And if you were on Ethereum, then yeah, more than likely there was a margin call executed if you were playing Ethereum. Longer than 3 minutes, someone called the search party. Actually, the reason why it was longer than 3 minutes is because I couldn't find a beer opener for my Corona. And I couldn't find my lighter, because I can open a beer bottle with a lighter, and I couldn't find a lighter, so I had to basically use a knife to open my beer bottle. But yeah, this Corona actually tastes good. La cerveza más fina. Yeah, this is probably the biggest crash of all times. I mean, this has to go down in record history. This has to be. Like I said, I played the stock market for 11 years. I've never ever seen a crash. I've never seen a crash like this at all. And I'm just scrolling up on the messages I saw. I'm responding to these messages not in a particular order. And it's not a bad idea to set stop loss, Austin. It's not a bad idea at all. When you're on margin, though, you really can't use stop loss when you're on margin. You have to satisfy the margin call first, and then whatever's left, you can turn margin off and put in a stop loss or a sell limit, whatever it might be. Our kit, thank you, man. Yeah, it's unbelievable. And yeah, thanks for that comment, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I still have the knowledge. It's just, you know, it kind of puts a damper. It really does. And it's probably going to affect me for a little while. You know, this isn't something you kind of get over in one day or a couple minutes. You know, there's a lot of trades that were placed, you know, to work that account up to, you know, from 8,000 to 22,000. Take a puff. Yeah, you know what, man? I haven't smoked in years. It's been years since I've smoked. But I think after today, that's something I'll probably definitely need. I wish I was out in Colorado. I could just stop at the shop. I am definitely enjoying the ice cold beer, man. I'm definitely enjoying this. I got 3 left. I might have to go out and buy a case or buy a keg. Yeah, I missed 420 by an hour basically. Thank you, man. Whoever used a super chat, I'm not sure who you were. Let me see if I can figure out who that was. TJ, you're awesome, buddy. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm just trying to read through the comments to see which ones to respond to. So sorry if there's a little bit of a silence. You know, Austin, I don't know if that's going to go up, you know, with this network lagging. Considering there aren't any trades that are happening on GDAX, the price is going to stay stagnant. It's going to stay at this level. They're not allowing any trades either on the buy side or the sell side to go through. Yeah, we'll see how Coinbase handles this. But yeah, I mean, basically, you know, I'm shit out of luck. I'm SOL. Literally shit out of luck. Now, if I wasn't on margin, I would have been perfectly fine. I mean, if you weren't on margin at all and you bought, let's just say, at $300, and it drops to $13, you still have your coins. You know, you're not losing your coins at all. But it's when you're on margin that it really comes back to bite you, because they will liquidate that account. They'll liquidate what they need to cover that margin. TJ, thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, you know, $300 is a very stable price for it. 250. You know, I really didn't see this thing dropping way, and I mean way below. You know, 250, 300, or even 150. Never in my wildest dream would I have expected that. I wish I would have put in that limit order, you know, before I had to run out. I wish that limit order was not put in. I wish there would have been a glitch at that time with GDAX to not allow me to put that order in. But, I mean, who knows? I mean, you know, I put in some lowball offers and it's gotten executed and worked out great to my advantage. But this time it kept on snowballing. Hodl like a champ. Yeah, I might have to do that for the 3.63 Ethereums I have to see, you know, okay, well, maybe Ethereum will make it up to $1,000 per coin. But if it makes up to $1,000 per coin, that's only $3,063. You'd lose 4,000 if you get out now. Sydney, you know, I wouldn't panic sell. I would not panic sell. I mean, if you're not a margin, man, you have nothing to worry about. I mean, the price will make it back up. It will. I mean, over time, it will. Yeah, William, this isn't, like I said, this isn't knocking me out of the game. I'm not wrecked to the point where I can't get back from this. Yes, I can get back from this. But to get back from, where I currently was a couple hours ago, it's going to be tough. It's going to take a while to get back up to that level. Playing with, what do I have on this account? I mean, I don't even think this is correct. $2,000 is definitely not correct. So we'll see, when GDAX is back up online to see what that's going to say. But 3.63 times 300 is definitely not 2,000 bucks. So let's just say it's $1,000. So all in all, I lost $3,000. I mean, I lost a lot more than that because everything was profit. But yeah, it's still a big hit. It's still a big hit. But yeah, my loss was huge. I mean, to go from basically, with leverage 28,000 down to, 2,000, and I don't even think that's correct to be at 2,000. I think it's 1,000. So, basically $27,000 hit. Yeah, now, Bradley, I don't know if I responded to your comment that you'll never trade after seeing this, or never use margin after seeing this. Yeah, I don't recommend using margin at all, especially if you're new to trading. Stay away from margin. Use this as an example. Yeah, William. Yeah, the thing with margin is the call. They can call at any time, and they don't have to notify you at all if the price rapidly drops, beyond belief. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, it dropped beyond belief. Yeah, they can fuck you. Song Kim, where's the song at? I need a good song to kind of cheer me up. My Corona's like 3/4 done already. I think I need to get another one. Open up another YouTube window. I don't know if that was for me, song. Okay, yeah, I'll let's see. I'll copy and paste that. Yeah, for some reason I'm gonna have to listen to that later because it will not allow me to do the live stream and have the audio for both. Yes, TJ, you are absolutely right, man. Only experienced traders should use margin. And even with experienced traders, they should still be cautious. And I was always cautious with it. But like I said, I mean, anything could happen. Anything, Dropping to 13 is unrealistic. No one would have expected that to happen at all. And anybody, and I'm sure there's a lot of traders out there on GDAX that were using margin, especially on Ethereum, that just got wrecked, just like I did. Sydney, you lost 9,500 using margin. Oh, man, I'm sorry. William, how much did I buy at what rate and what is the call at? So I bought 112.4284. We'll just say 112. I bought 112. Basically, it was 2 hours ago at $250.01. The price was at $3.15, I think, when I left. So really, I mean, it had a chance to hit that 250, but I didn't expect it to dip. You know, if it was going to dip, you know, 200 bucks it would have dipped to, and the call price had to be 94.56, but the price dropped so fast that they were able to execute a little under 10 at 94.46, and then the rest, you know, they executed 5 at 93, another 5, another 0.76 at 93, and then 15 Ethereums at 92, and then the rest 78.1526 at $91.88. So that was basically the call price. So the call price had to be like, you know, 95 bucks, something to that extent. I'm just glad it didn't all get executed at 13 bucks. I mean, that would suck. I mean, that would leave this account with like, you know, 39 bucks, something to that extent. That would basically be, you know, that would mean I lost it all. Let me see, Austin, your margin selling without leverage. How is that possible? You can't margin sell unless you're actually on margin, at least to my understanding. Let's see, who bought $2,000 worth at 310? These messages keep scrolling up and down. My crypto journey, no, I got in at 250. 280 was really what I was looking at, because that would have given me 100 Ethereums, and that's what I was looking to purchase. But 280 was very close to that 315. So I didn't put it in at I didn't put it in at 280 because I was going to be basically away from my computer for a couple hours, and I was out of, you know, I mean, I left here at 11:45, and I didn't get back to about 15 minutes before this debacle happened. GDAX caused the crash. Oh, man, there's, I don't know, so many different speculations. So many different speculations. Man, I don't know how I missed all these comments. Yeah, if I missed one of your comments, I do apologize. I think somebody just, I got to find the message, but somebody bought 50 Ethereums, or they bought Ethereum at 50 bucks. Let me see if I can find that comment. Unless it was an old comment. Yeah, I mean, if anybody margined, Al, if anybody margined at 140, even if they put in that low ball offer at 140, yeah, they got cleaned up. They got cleaned up. I mean, even if you margined at 100 bucks, you got cleaned. It dropped to 13. Anybody that was on margin, anybody, there's not probably one person that was on margin that didn't get cleaned up. Always have faith in the zero resistance law. How much was my loss? And I don't know if I answer these questions or not because I keep having to scroll up and down on these messages. How much was my loss because of the crash? Considering it says I have 2,000, yeah, about 26, but I think I only have 1,000 to be honest with you. So 27,000 hit. Yeah, they took me to the cleaners. You know, really, I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, they bent me over, you know, and they didn't even take me out to lunch. You know, I should ask Coinbase if I'm wearing lipstick. And if they say, no, why? I'm like, because you're trying to fuck me like I am. Yeah, Ash, there's really not much you can do, man. You know, in regards to your comment, you'll get your money back because it was an exchange issue and didn't happen on any other exchanges. I wouldn't let them get away with it. I mean, really, what can you do? You know, it's almost like trying to fight City Hall and trying to win, or trying to fight the federal government and trying to win. You know, I don't think that's feasible at all. There's really, you know, I have no grounds to stand on, none at all. Now, let's say hypothetically I wasn't on margin and this was just my pure capital that I was using, and this happened and somehow, some way they decided to sell something that wasn't theirs, then yes, I would have something to stand on. But yeah, I don't think I have anything to stand on. Max, yeah, I don't know. I can't really recommend it. I mean, I can't see the chart. I don't even know what the actual price is. There's really, I mean, everything's frozen right now. Let me hit refresh and see if GDAX is back up. But yeah, I mean, one recommendation I would make is if you are on margin currently right now, which I don't think anybody is on margin considering everybody got cleaned up. If you are on margin and you want to satisfy that margin call, and then sit on what you have. So you're going to take a loss on whatever you sell to satisfy that margin, but satisfy that margin even if you're taking a little bit of a hit, and then keep the rest. That's something I would recommend, is to get out of margin, because this dip could happen anytime. It could happen again. I mean, imagine what's going to happen when they actually bring the exchanges back online. I mean, do you think people are going to be holding, or people are going to be selling? In my opinion, people are going to be selling. They're going to be unloading. Yeah, the glitches will work against you, Ryan. You're absolutely right, man. It's against you, not for you. All right, here we go. Chase. Chase had a low ball at 50, and I'm going to try to get to a message to see if that executed. But yeah, let me know if your $50 price point executed. It should. It should have executed, considering it dropped to 13. Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do. Yeah, you don't want to have to put more money into this to satisfy the margin call. It would have sucked if I had to actually put more money in, because they executed at $13. I mean, imagine if they executed mine at $13. Oh, dude, I would probably have to take a break from live streaming for a while. Let's see. Alan is saying, "Sorry, dude, margin. You didn't follow your own advice to that woman this morning to stay away from margin." As a new trader, yeah, I stay away from margin. This isn't my first rodeo around the block. I knew what I was getting into with margin, but like I've stated earlier in this video, I mean, who knew that it would drop to $13? I mean, who knew that it would actually break below 200, break below 100, break below 50, break below 30, 20? Who knew? No one. Yeah, I mean, this has happened a lot, SC. This has happened a lot. I mean, especially with some of the other exchanges, with Poloniex, people being on margin and getting wrecked. Yeah, this happens all the time. You just don't hear about it. You're hearing about this because you guys are on the live stream. That's why you're able to hear about this. But yeah, usually you don't hear about, people being wrecked at all. Because they're not live streaming, they're not sharing that information. But yeah, I'm sharing this with you guys, and this is a dangerous, dangerous game. Maybe I should change the title. Let me see, ETH tanks at 13 on GDAX. Yeah, let me change this title. Got wrecked on margin. Lost. That's definitely 27,000. It's definitely not 26,000. So we'll just say lost 27K. Hopefully people will learn from my mistake. But, this wasn't a reckless mistake that I made, because like I said, nobody expected this thing. It's not like I bought it at the top, bought it at $400 or $420, heavily leveraged our margin. I played it safe. I kind of waited for it to come to me. And that 250 was a very solid price, considering 253 was a support. That 253 was a good support, because when she crashed from 420, I mean, she came down to 253 and came right back up to 385. So that 250 was me playing it safe. All right, so title has been changed. Timeline for the issue, I mean, when it really started tanking was 330 to 345. Let's see who was asking for this. William. Yeah, so from 330 to 345 was when that dump really started happening. And I mean, if we really look at the 5-minute chart, 330 to 335, let's go ahead and look at the 1-minute chart. So that was exactly at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time zone, New York time zone. So at 3:30 p.m. was basically when that drop happened. But, you know, within a minute later, made it right back up to 317.82. So, and then hovered right in that range. Yeah, I mean, if they would have left that and didn't liquidate the account, you know, because there was a glitch and they just couldn't execute the price in time, yeah, I would have been fine. I would have been safe, and that was what I was hoping. So I mean, those 3 scenarios, A, B, and C, and D. I mean, you know, I wish A would have happened or D would have happened. They either null and void it or keep it on there and not execute it. But more than likely, you know, it works against you, so they end up executing it. Is this volatility business as usual? Yeah, you know, it's a huge moneymaker. How often does this happen on a weekly basis? I mean, it happens. You know, I mean, there's 750 cryptocurrencies, but how often does this happen on, you know, the second biggest cryptocurrency? You know, aside from Bitcoin being number one, you know, how often would that happen? I mean, this is almost like, I mean, this is I don't know if I can do my math right, but this is over 1,000% drop. I mean, imagine if Bitcoin dropped 1,000%. Let's see, Sydney, you had a lot in your account, but it ate it all up and closed the buys with big losses. So you closed the buys, I'm assuming, right? Or did the exchange close your buy? Yeah, dude, a lot of people lose money on stocks, man. That's why I got out of the stock market. It's a big Ponzi scam that only benefits the elite, and that's it. Actually, let me change because I didn't lose 28,000. I don't know, or 27,000. I don't know why I put 27,000. Because really, I had 18,100 on there. So it was about 17,000. It's kind of hard to determine because really GDAX is not, it's not up and running. So Al, let's see. You're lucky Ethereum doubled since you got in. So I'm assuming your buying price was 150. So even if it got called back or called like the margin call, you're back to your original investment. Well, it all depends what your call price is. So I mean, let's just say it violently drops. There's a possibility you could lose money depending on what your call price is, unless your call price is right at your break even, which more than likely it's not your break even. Yeah, let me know if you guys if there are any articles out there. Um, you know, about this crazy Ethereum drop. Yeah, please share them with me on Twitter. You know, tweet it out to me. Sydney, you're new, just started a month ago. Well, you know what? One big lesson to learn, man. What just happened to me? So it's a crazy world. It's a crazy market that we deal in. And it's hard for me to say what caused the crash. It really is. I mean, all we could do is just kind of speculate on what might have happened, but we have no clue what happened. Yeah, GDAX was the only place that it crashed at 13 on. It didn't crash at 13 anywhere else. I mean, it got to a low of about 280. What is this? 288 was the low that it got to on, or 287. Let's just say 288. 288 on Bitfinex. Didn't know it could drop so fast. It shouldn't have dropped that fast. It shouldn't have at all. There's just really nothing rational about that drop whatsoever. GDAX caused a crash. Yeah, possibility, man. I mean, there's so many different possibilities of what might have happened. I mean, you know, GDAX just made tons of money off of this, possibly. I don't think any exchange is immune to this. No, there's not one exchange that's immune to this. You know, when you're dealing with a decentralized platform, yeah, dude, anything could happen. So 96% drop from the high. You know, I mean, they should have stopped. They should have halted trading, Sean, when it probably broke, you know, broke below 200, 150, something to that extent. Because really, I mean, to go from 300 to 150 is a 50% drop. They should have halted it then. Or it dropped 66% and halted. Yeah, I'm sure, man. I'm sure bots, I mean, snatched up anything that was available to them. I mean, they loved my my liquidated, you know, price point of $93. They love that. You know, I mean, it's up to $300 now. Listen to I'm not down. I'll write it down. I'll write it down that I'm not down. Yeah, and just because I'm laughing, guys, doesn't mean I'm in a good mood. So I'm just trying to lighten it up a little bit. But no, this really hurts. It really does hurt, and it puts a damper. It really does. So you know, don't think because I'm laughing that, you know, I'm taking this as a joke or taking this lightly. No, I'm definitely not. Definitely not at all. Now it sucks. Is it the end of the world? No, it's not the end of the world. You know. So I just gotta, you know, be positive and think positive thoughts, and positive things will happen. You know, if I start really thinking negative and negative thoughts, then, you know, that's going to really prevent me from coming back to this game. And I've talked about it before. You know, you got to be able to survive this game and come back to it. Um, and a lot of people, I mean, if they were in my situation, yeah, this would damper everything. They probably wouldn't come back to this game at all. You know, I'm going to try to come back to it and try to come back in a positive manner, and learn from my mistake. You know, and it's all about learning from your mistakes and not allowing, you know, your mistakes to repeat again. So let's see, Al, you're saying you would feel uneasy if GDAX reverses it, would lose all their trust in the future. So you mean like if they reverse my trade as though it never happened? Man, for some reason I can't get through these messages. It keeps scrolling. Little, it's a little glitchy. Let's see if Ethereum can bring me back, can bring me a little bit of joy. I don't know if she can though. She'd have to drop to 10 bucks. I think that's my buy-in. 10 bucks. 10 bucks, no margin. Yeah, she's dropping. She's dropping from that 22 down to 18. Yeah, sorry if I'm missing some of these comments. I'm trying to, all of a sudden, all these comments just popped out of nowhere. Well, the thing is, SC, and I don't know if I'm getting to this message late. I wish there were some logs to report all these events. Some must be taking advantage of this. Maybe the bots, yeah. I mean, the exchanges allow the bots to get on, without permission of GDAX or Coinbase. Yeah, the bots wouldn't be allowed to get on. Hello from Brazil. Let's see what Josh saying. You lost 15% on your first trade last week. Can you say how much percent of your total investment in crypto, the 27 was in your portfolio? So I'll just clarify it a little bit. So I had $18,000, of basically my capital, add 10,000 to it, which is the margin that they were giving me, brought me up to 28,000. And that basically 28,000, of course, they liquidated it, got their 10,000 back. So out of that 18,000, they left me with 2,000. And I don't think that's correct. I mean, if you really take 3.63 Ethereums times it by 300 bucks, it's not 2,000 as they're saying on here. Let's see if they updated this. So 3.63 times 300 bucks is only 1,089. So 17,000 bucks basically I lost. So my whole total capital that I had was, including the $4,000, a little over $4,000 on Bitfinex, was 22,000. So took an account from 22,000 down to 5,000. Yeah, definitely one of the biggest losses in history of an asset. One of the biggest drops within a matter of minute. Now, I've seen stocks drop gradually over weeks and weeks and weeks and years. They just slowly, but they just slowly grind to nothing. But to have a drop from 317, what was this at? 317.82 down to 13 bucks. Huge drop. Okay, William, you were explaining to Tracy what happened. Let's see if you're correct. I bought at 250 and then it kept dropping. When it went below a certain point, they made a margin call and liquidated its tokens to cover the call until everything was sold. Yeah, just about everything. Yeah. And I wish I would have seen it hit 250 and start dropping, because I would have covered it like 225, 200 bucks. I would have definitely covered. I would have hit that cover margin. I mean, I would have covered at the market level everything. And then really that would have only given me a $5,000 hit. That 18,000 would be 13,000, so I would still be somewhat okay. But yeah, I don't know why when I turn margin off. So I don't actually have 2,000. This is with the margin. They're giving me 2,000. So really they're giving me 1 times the amount of margin, which then my account really in actuality is 1,089. So basically, I took let's just say 18,100. and minus that by 1,089. That's basically in that account now. So a $17,000 hit within a matter of seconds. So to lose that much money in a matter of seconds is unheard of. It's unrealistic. But it can happen. It has happened, and it can happen again and again. 142 people on this. Thank you so much for joining. Even though I'm not as ecstatic as I should be. So Dilo, so you're saying, let me see, it looks like somebody cashed out 40,000 Ethereums. Wow. It was an Ethereum ICO investor. Where'd you hear about that? Yeah, there's no such thing as safe, Edward. You're absolutely right, man. Yeah, that crash to 6 cents on BTC, yeah, that was just a fluke. And I took a screenshot of that. Yeah, that was because I was actually watching it. It was like 0.001 BTCs that were executed. Yeah, the bots just caused it to drop. But yeah, nobody made out like a bandit. Investing with nothing. That's a very good comment. Did somebody cash out the 30 million Ethereum and short Ethereum at the same time? They cashed out and now are going to cash in on everyone's panic. Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if Coinbase was shorting at that top. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Should you sell out of your margin? Dude, you should at least satisfy your margin. Satisfy your margin, man. Whatever that margin is, satisfy the margin and then, hold on to the rest. That's what I would recommend, and that's probably what I would have done. Either I would have liquidated everything, by myself at 200, or I would have satisfied the margin and only the margin and held the rest because it came right back up. All right, Ariel, please answer me. Is Ethereum going down everywhere? No, it's not going down everywhere. And I don't know, sorry if I missed that message, but I got so many messages and I keep having to, for some reason, when messages come through, all of a sudden the live chat scrolls up to the top and I got to try to scroll to see kind of where I left off. But no, I mean, it didn't drop everywhere. It dropped to 289 or 288 on Bitfinex. Yeah, it was only GDAX that this dropped to 13 bucks. Let's see. Ark's asking, you lost 17,000 in leverage. Yes. How much of invested capital is this? All of it was invested capital, bud. I don't understand. Yeah. So I mean, I had 18,000 of my own capital without margin. With margin, I had 28,000 because they gave you 10,000 on top of the 18,000. So they liquidated the account. They took back their 10,000, and out of the 18,000, I'm left with 1,000. So I was leveraging with the total amount of 28,000, but only 18,000 of it was mine, and they left me with 1,000. Yeah, some reason I'm getting to these comments very late. Coinbase is currently down. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Buy gold and silver now. I don't know. I think it's stabilizing around these prices. I think it is stabilizing. But if anybody's on margin, I would highly recommend just satisfy the margin amount. Whatever you need to satisfy the margin dollar amount, sell that amount, get out of margin. Do not play with margin at all. Because this thing could tank, and it could tank when you're sleeping. It could happen again. Happens once. Shame on them. Happens again. That's shame on us. Sean, you're saying someone got 3,800 Ethereums at 10 cents. It never dropped to 10 cents though. So I don't know how somebody got 3,800 Ethereums at 10 cents. 2,500%. Is that what the percentage worked out to? I said 1,000%. Yeah, 2,500% sounds about right. Yeah, these flash crashes can happen. And I mean, they could happen to any exchange. It could really happen to any exchange. Yeah, I don't think anybody got 3,800 Ethereums at 10 cents. I mean, I don't know what exchange you're looking at, but definitely not on GDAX, considering it didn't drop to 10 cents. Yeah, Sean, if you want to upload that screenshot, you can upload it to my Twitter page if you want, or Facebook. Yeah, you might not be able to do it on this live chat. Are there any cryptos with a decentralized exchange? There are a couple. I just don't know off the top of my head. 99.96% drop. Yeah, Bitfinex seems to be very stable. Yeah, I mean, it came down a little bit, but yeah, it didn't have that flash crash. And that's a problem with decentralized exchanges is, it could crash on one exchange and not crash on another. And if you happen to be on the wrong exchange, then you know what? You're SOL like me. With the stock market, it's a centralized, exchange. So, every exchange will be the same across the board. Yeah, Ash, I don't know. I don't think they'll give me back anything. Yeah, I think that Ryan, I think that you're saying 2 days ago on the 19th, GDAX announced they increased the max amount of margin funding in Ethereum USD to 10,000. They've been giving me that 10,000 for a while. It wasn't just 2 days ago. Maybe 2 days ago they announced it. But yeah, I always had a good amount of leverage on Ethereum and Bitcoin. A lot of people probably snapped up that opportunity. No one expected this thing to drop this bad. Oh, Scotty M, you're on this live stream. So you see, you get to hear my, I think we need to go out and grab a beer, bud, and grab some of those arrogant wings from Champs. I definitely need it today, but actually I got the kids and my wife is working, so might not be a good time. Tracy's saying, how is it not a GDAX only issue? It is a GDAX only issue because the price only dropped on GDAX to that level. It didn't drop anywhere else to that level. Moroccan, yeah, it's effed up, man. It is, but what can we do? But yeah, thanks to anybody that's clicking on that subscribe button. Definitely helps out. Thumbs up definitely helps out. It kind of lightens my mood a little bit. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Thumbs up, please do so. And whoever clicked on a thumbs down, let me know why. If there's something you didn't like about this live stream, I'll definitely change it. Yeah, margin trading is probably one of the riskiest things you'll ever do. And that's why, I've said it over and over again on the live stream, I don't recommend it for new traders at all. Until you get familiar with actually trading, the fundamentals of trading, the psychology of trading, you should not utilize margin whatsoever. Stay away from it. And I said to him, I utilize margin. I've been trading for a while. But like I said, earlier, Nobody knew this was going to be dropping at 13 cents from 300 bucks. No one at all. Yeah, Oni, that's fine. Just yeah, you can post it. You know, I talk to you periodically on Slack, so yeah, if you want to post it on our Slack chat, go for it. But yeah, normally I don't like links on our Slack chat. ETH is a buy right now. I don't even know what the price is on GDAX. I mean, it has you can't buy it on GDAX unless you're trading on something else. I mean, just be careful. Just be very careful. They reversed the trade? No, there's no reversal of trade. And I want to turn off margin. I don't even want to have margin on, to be honest with you. But they won't even allow me to turn margin off. Yeah, I don't know why they're giving me a buying power of 2,000, considering I don't have any cash. I guess they're trying to use my 3.63 Ethereums as leverage. But yeah, I would love to turn margin off of this. And then it'll show the actual value of 1,089 bucks. Big bounce coming for ETH. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens on GDAX. I mean, you think about it. You know, if people are panicking because of what happened on GDAX, they might be selling out of their position. That's a possibility. I don't know if I answered this question before, but Josh, yeah, I mean, does it suck that it happened? Yeah, it definitely sucks. I mean, it sucks. You know, anybody lose money, and I've said it before. I don't want to see anybody lose money. But is it their fault? No. You know, some traders. You know, I don't know what traders sold. You know, that whatever it was, 30,000 Ethereums to cause the price to crash. I mean, it's definitely not their fault. I mean, they should have things in place to kind of halt trading. But no, it's not their fault. So, you know, for me to call them, you know, and bitch at them, it's not gonna solve anything, because really ultimately, you know, like I said, I take the blame for that. It was I who placed that trade. It was I who used the leverage. You know, they didn't force me to use the leverage. They didn't force me to put that trade in. So yeah, you know, me calling them up and bitching at them and telling them how unfair it was because of the glitch, you know, they're gonna say, all right, you know, here's a quarter. You know, why don't you give somebody else a call that cares? So yeah, I don't think that's going to solve anything at all, unless they do it on their own and they just kind of reverse some of the trades that happen, which that's not going to happen at all. That's not going to happen. Yeah, Al, there's definitely a lot of comments to catch up on. Yeah, guys. Yeah, be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Be sure to click on that post notification to see if I actually recover from this and come back. You know, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Am I going to do a live stream on Friday? I don't know, guys. I really don't know. I think I need to take a seat back and just kind of contemplate of what just happened. Um, it hasn't really sunk in yet. Yes, it's happened. I know it's happened, but it hasn't sunk in yet, if that even makes sense. I know next week, you know, next Friday, I'm actually going to be moving, closing on a house, and I'm not going to have any internet at my new place. At current place that I'm living at, we'll have internet for a little while, but I don't know if I'll be here to do the live stream. So, you know, I could be MIA for maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks, possibly, depending if I have internet or not at my new place and when they set it up. But yeah, I mean, click on that subscribe button and see if I come back and recover from this debacle. Because really, that's what it was. It was a debacle that should have never, ever happened at all to anybody at an exchange. Um, Yeah, I don't think they're going to reverse the trade as though they never happened. Nah, dude. I don't think Coinbase is that nice to do that. Man, these comments keep scrolling up. I got to like highlight one of the comments to know where I left off. Uh, and I don't think the live chat is keeping majority of the comments. Oh yeah, I missed tons of these comments. Let's see, man. Yeah, I got to scroll all the way up and try to scroll down. Okay, there we go. ECS's message. Yeah, be sure to subscribe. Okay, that's where I was last. Ariel, thank you so much. I'm glad you like this group. It's a fun group. You know, it's a great community. You know, and I want you guys to learn from my mistakes. You know, it's great to make money, but it sucks to lose money. It really does. And yeah, I've given back all the profit and a little bit of my capital. So, you know, I'm basically kind of in a hole of you know, a little over $3,000 basically. And if you guys haven't done so, you know, definitely sign up for our mailing list. You know, we are going to be opening up that Slack chat. So if you guys, you know, if you have the time, definitely click on cryptotradersroom.com and sign up for our mailing list. And once we open up the enrollment, you know, we'll definitely send out a massive email and let you guys know that we've opened up the enrollment. But I highly recommend, you know, when you do answer those questions, there are a couple questions that you do have to answer. Answer them the best way you can and answer them truthfully. That's the only thing I can really ask for. All right, let me see if I can get to some more of these comments, and then I'm going to take a little bit of a break. But if I'm not back in like 3 minutes, definitely send the SWAT team, but don't have me swatted. So I wonder if they're allowing trading on, let's see, if they're allowing trading on like Litecoin or Bitcoin, or if they only really stopped it on Ethereum. Yeah, I think GDAX has completely disabled everything. I mean, they're probably afraid of it, just a flash crash on, you know, all three cryptocurrencies that they have. Let's see. I'm probably getting to this message late, but my crypto journey, I basically got liquidated. Yes, I purchased at 250. Yeah, it's up to 300, and that was great. And when I saw that, I was like, all right, I need to get out. I need to sell. You know, I'm at $5,600. Let me sell, and they wouldn't allow me to sell because they completely just froze GDAX. They completely halted everything. And then when they kind of refreshed it, I kind of realized, okay, yep, they liquidated it. Let's see, saying Moroccan, I think they would be more trustworthy if they show to make things right when they F up. Yeah, I don't think they care, though, to be honest with you. I don't think they care. Yeah, ECS, do you want to open up enrollment? It's your call, bud. If you want to open up enrollment, go ahead, open it up, man. Matt, thank you, Matt. Thank you so much, bud. I appreciate that. Yeah, even when losing, still a class act, and you're almost 130 viewers. Yeah, dude, thank you guys for joining. I seriously do appreciate it. I appreciate anybody that's clicked on the subscribe button, anybody that's clicked on the thumbs up. And 140 people is a lot of people to be, you know, on this live stream. Al, there's another chat room, and I'll leave it up to ECS if he wants to open it up. Yeah, go to cryptotradersroom.com and sign up. They provide an API access to the bots. Do they really? Interesting. So they're getting a kickback. They're getting paid. And they know what the bots are capable of doing. So they'll profit at the bottom. Bradley, you signed up for the chat room, but no room, it says. Maybe ECS can take a look at that. Or Dylan, I don't know if you're on this live stream. What goes down must come up. Yeah, and I've said that in the past, unless you get liquidated. And then you don't have any coins left for them to come up. Yeah, I would still be careful of Coinbase app as well too, because I accidentally bought 9 Litecoins at a very high price at 47.74, I think it was, and that was just me basically accidentally forgetting to lock my phone, and I had the Coinbase app up, and I must have hit buy, and I must have hit the number 9, and then I hit submit. I didn't know I bought any until I actually was accessing my email, and I'm like, Coinbase sending me an email saying I bought 9 Litecoins. I'm like, I didn't buy 9 Litecoins. And then I was like, oh, man, that was when I forgot to lock my phone. Yeah, it sucks, but get another Corona. I am, dude. I'm actually done with this. Yeah, actually, my wife is working late. She's working till probably 11 o'clock at night. But yeah, she's gonna be like, "What happened?" Yeah, I'm probably not gonna tell her what happened because she'll be a little upset. Yeah, I don't think I'll be sharing that with her. I mean, she knows how much my account was up to. She knows because I mean, she's watching me trade and watching me do the live streams, and she has access to. When I say access, not meaning like she's able to log in, but she can see my account on the screens that I have. So, but yeah, she's gonna be like, "You did what? You lost that much?" She's not even gonna really care about the situation of how it happened. She's just gonna see the overall dollar amount and be like, "You lost that much." But then I'm gonna say, "Well, majority of it was profit. I only lost a little bit of the capital." But to her, it's still profit. I mean, and to me, it's still money that I lost because it was profit that I had locked in. It wasn't, it was realized gains. It wasn't unrealized gains. Now, if it was unrealized gains, yeah, you know what? The profit was never there. Yes, it was there virtually, but it was never really there. It was never locked in. You got wrecked. Yeah, dude, beyond belief. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that should have made that the title. I got wrecked on GDAX. What did I make the title? Let's see. I kind of forget. I got wrecked on margin, lost 17 grand. Yeah, man, it's a lesson learned. It sucks. And like I said before, I just got to think positive thoughts and positive things will happen and not allow this to really affect me to where I can't come back from it. I can come back from it. It takes time, unfortunately. But, I was planning on using that money for the move and for a bunch of other stuff. So, yeah, it kind of, dampers that part. But, money is easy come, easy go. NYL Limited, yeah, man, or NY Limited. I'll make it back. Like I said, it'll take time, but I'll make it back. Never do margin on crypto. Great lesson, Chris D. It is a wild, wild west. Yes, Schumann 6. I lost $17,000. So let's see, ZZ, I will respond to that comment, even though it's not there anymore. Yeah, GDAX raised the margin limit to 10,000 just 2 days ago before the crash. And actually, they raised it, prior to 2 days ago. It wasn't just 2 days ago. I've been utilizing margin for a while now, and I've been utilizing the 10,000 they offered me on or actually not BTC, but on Ethereum. They were probably in on it and took your money when you pretended to know what you were doing. I didn't pretend, bud. I knew what I was doing. There was no pretending at all. And like I said before, I mean, I definitely want there to be transparency, and I never pretend to know something I don't know. So, yeah, I knew what I was doing, man. If you told your parents, they would kick you out. Oh, dude, that's too funny. Let's see. You expect it to go lower. The flash crash at 13, maybe a hint of where this thing's headed. Yeah, I mean, it's a sign of what's to possibly come later on. They're messing with balances right now on GDAX. Yeah, I can't do anything on GDAX. Let's see, even if I turn margin on, turn margin off. Yeah, it's showing that I have zero. Showing that I have 0 Ethereums. But when I turn margin on, it's showing that I have, 3.63 Ethereums. What will wifey say? If I tell her, she'll just be like, she probably wouldn't be happy. She probably wouldn't be happy. But she knows that I can make that money back up over time. No, I don't owe GDAX anything. Not a penny. I don't owe them a dime. Who asked me this? So now you owe the margin of 10,000? No, I don't owe anything at all. They already liquidated. They already got their money back. But when they liquidated, they just liquidated at a very cheap price. Now, it could have been worse. They could have liquidated this thing at 20 bucks and left me with nothing. But they left me with 3.6 Ethereums. Go to Twitter for GDAX. Go to Twitter GDAX for status update. Yeah, I'll definitely follow up once after I get off this live stream. 6:30, 10 minutes. I'm definitely gonna get off for this, guys, and I do apologize. But yeah, 6:30, I'm gonna be getting off. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. You might be right. Well, all these exchanges are basically trading, using their own bots to trade. Yeah, absolutely. Time to start my own trading platform. Yeah, I don't know about that. GDAX is back up. Let's see, are there any trades that are happening? No trades. No trades at all. Let me refresh. Yeah, I mean, who's asking? Something sounds fishy. With the cryptocurrency market, being decentralized, not being governed by the SEC or really any organization to oversee, what it is that they're doing and to make sure that they are following the rules and regulations. Yeah, some exchanges can be very sketchy. TJ, thank you so much, man. Yeah, nobody saw this thing coming, and I I would be surprised if there's any other people that are talking about this, talking about how they got wrecked, how they got basically liquidated. I don't think there's anybody out there that's going to be talking about this and letting you know of the experience that they had. I'm not talking about this a week, 2 weeks, a month later. I'm talking about this as it basically happened. I knew something was happening, and when I did this live stream, I didn't know I was wrecked. It showed I had 112 Ethereums that I bought at 250. It showed it, and it showed that I had an open order, and I was basically waiting for it to refresh to see exactly what happened. And on this live stream, I said, one or three things could happen. A is that they can null and void it. B is that I still have the 112 and the price is 300 bucks. Or C is that they would liquidate the account. And C happened. They liquidated the account. But yeah, you're right, man. Don't kick me while I'm down, dude. That's not nice. I would never kick somebody when they're down. I've always said I want you guys to make money. I don't want anybody to lose money. It sucks to lose money. I don't want to see any of you guys lose money whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, Olaf, I can make it back. I can. It's just a matter of, you know, it takes time to make it back. It takes time to get back from this hole. But I didn't lose a lot of my capital. I lost, $3,000 of my capital. And I started really trading heavily uh, March 12th or March 11th, I think it was. You guys can go back and watch the videos because I started live streaming everything. Basically, from March 12th, April, May, let's just say, June 12th, I made a good amount of money, turned that 8,000 into 22,000. I gave it all back, plus 3,000 more. She's gonna kick my ass. I don't know, dude. I don't know. She probably will. She's probably watching. No, she doesn't watch any of my live streams. She doesn't. She'll listen to it occasionally here and there when she's at home. But no, she won't go on YouTube and listen to the live stream. That's how all that ether got dumped at once. It was a butt dial on Coinbase. Yeah, dude. Yeah, somebody, and I wish there was, if you guys hear of anything of what might have happened, yeah, definitely share it with us. We would like to know exactly what might have happened. So let's see. I don't know if this book is accurate, but it's showing Ethereum big seller, 1,223 Ethereum's at $301.98. So a big seller stepping in, if that is correct. Yeah, we kind of expected something to happen, and especially with the, federal government trying to label, trying to say, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are funding terrorism and things like that, and they're basically trying to outlaw it. We knew something was going to be happening later on down the road, and if they're using national security as a claim to ban Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, they'll pass it. And I forget who I was talking to, but I kind of mentioned that. And I was like, by then I'll be out. I'll take my money out of the exchanges if that's the case. But yeah, this $300 to $13 drop, dude. Even if Warren Buffett was in this trade, he would have lost a lot of money. Yeah, nobody would have seen this coming. And if you say you've seen this coming, $300 to $13, I'm sorry, dude. Yeah, don't BS me. I'll never BS anybody, dude. I never saw it coming at all. Now, if I saw it coming, I wouldn't have put in a 250 order at all. I would not. I was thinking about 280, and I was like, well, I'm not going to be in front of my computer, so let me not do 280. Let me just do, what do I do? 250. Yeah, that's going to be TJ. That's going to be the goal now, to bring this back up. So, at one point I was actually planning on doing, seeing how much I could turn $2,000 into. And I was basically only going to start with $2,000. I was going to take the rest out and be able to use it for my move and things like that, and only trade with $2,000. So, right now, I got to wait until GDAX actually really confirms what I have in that account. But basically, I'll be trading with 4,000 to 5,000, and that's it. And see how long it takes me to bring it back up to where it was. Yeah, Keith. Yeah, I agree with you, man. GDAX or Coinbase possibly made a couple $1 billion from trading that happened during the crash. It wouldn't surprise me at all. She's gonna file a divorce. Nah, she won't file a divorce. Now, if I lose everything and I don't have any money for the down payment for the house that we're closing on the 30th, yeah, she probably would. She probably would, because it's like, We got a contract to buy a house. We're closing on the 30th, and we have no money for the down payment. Yeah, yeah, dude, that would be bad. Maybe it'll go viral, get your back from YouTube. Yeah, maybe I'll do a Q&A live stream with my wife, and you guys can ask her some questions, and maybe I'll tell her then on the live stream of what happened and how I lost $17,000 and see how she reacts to it. We'll see. We'll see. It's a thought. Might not happen, but it's a thought. Let's see, Misko saying it's life. It sucks sometimes, but someone that managed to get up to that amount like you will definitely get back up. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got kicked down, but I'll get back up. It's just it's the nature of the beast. We get kicked down and get back up, and the overall goal is to not be taken out of this game. And currently I'm not taken out of this game yet. I'm still in the game. It's just going to be slowly, getting back up, and it's probably going to take a lot longer. ECS, thank you so much for that comment. Yeah, and he's absolutely right. This is a prime example of transparency on the stream. Most traders only show you the wins. The only reason why I'm sharing this is so the room can learn from it. And yes, and I want you guys to learn from it. And I've stated in the past, don't use margin. Don't use margin. I use margin because I'm used to it. I know how to use margin. But like I said, nobody fathomed, nobody saw this drop coming. So it happens. It happens to the best of us, and there's nothing really you can do. Man, for some reason, like comments just pop out of nowhere. Like I won't see any comments at all, and then they'll pop up. So I'm sorry if I missed a lot of these comments. I'll try to get through them within the next 2 minutes, and then I'll have to end this. You're gonna keep using margin. Just be careful with it. Just be very careful with it. That's all I ask. I mean, it could happen to anybody. So don't think you're immune from it. Was it Super Sonomos? Super Sonomos, I mean, don't think that it can't happen to you. It can happen to you. You just got to be careful with it. There's nothing wrong with using margin. Nothing wrong with it. You just got to be very careful with it. Let's see. They have reversed the gains you made. They reversed the gains you made flipping during the crash. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Isn't ETH going to come back? I mean, I don't see anything. It hasn't really dropped, to be honest with you. I mean, it's $300 on Bitfinex. It's frozen. I mean, they're not allowing any trading to go through on GDAX, so we have no clue what it's going to do on GDAX. You got 1,900 Ethereums from the glitch, Devil's Eye. If that's true, man, congrats. You probably got my 108. SC, yeah, thank you for that comment, man. And I've said it before in many of my videos. I went there to be transparency, and that's why I shared, my entries. I've shared my exits. I've shared how much money I have in that account. You guys know my name. I mean, there was nothing that I was hiding from you guys whatsoever. I mean, by you guys having access to my order book and looking at, where my entries are, where my exit was, you were able to see my gains and my losses. And I've really only had really 2 losses. One was, I bought Steam at 20,000 Satoshis, and I didn't do anything from me, so I got rid of it at 18,000 Satoshis. The second loss I had was shorting, and actually it was on GDAX. I shorted Ethereum at 332, and I covered at 330, but they null and voided that cover and covered me at 331. So yes, it was a profit, but with the commission that I paid, it was a loss of $20. Really, those are the 2 losses that I had prior to this big loss. You got 5. Now I'm going to call BS on this, Jesse. You got 5,000 Ethereum from the glitch. I'm going to call BS on that, bud. Yeah, because I think the total volume was about 8,000 from that crash. Yeah, it was definitely all GDAX. I mean, the crash only happened on GDAX. It didn't happen on anything else. Can I even buy it at that low level at 13 bucks? Somebody bought it at 13 bucks. Somebody sold it at 13 and bought it at 13. Somebody got liquidated at 13 bucks. You know, possibly because, you know, when there's a slippage that happens, you're not guaranteed to have it locked in at the call price. It's going to slip, and if it slips, let's just say hypothetically your call price was 100 bucks, but it slips so much below that 100 that they're going to liquidate it at 50, 30, 20, you know, because of the slippage. Tracy says, I knew from legacy trading to stay away. I'm assuming from margin. The market is too manipulated. Yeah, the stock market, and I think, you know, we talked about that before. Stock market's manipulated to benefit the elite. You know, there's manipulation that happens on just about any market as well, too. You know, the one thing, and the reason why I used GDAX a lot was because I didn't have to pay commission on my limit buys. I didn't have to pay commission at all. So now I'm just going to have to fork up the commission and start really using Bitfinex. You just joined. Quick summary. Yeah, I mean, the title says it all. I lost 17 grand on a margin call. Borrow money equals margin trading. Yes, indeed. Can I open Crypto Watch and have an exchange? Yeah. I do apologize. I know I was looking at the comments too much. So let's look at, I mean, there's no sense of looking at Ethereum. Litecoin. I don't know who has Litecoin, but Litecoin is dropping. Let's see. Is it dropping on Coinbase? So they are allowing trading. Coinbase is allowing trading on Litecoin. So, and it is dropping 41.50. So yeah, we'll pay attention to this for a little bit and see exactly exactly what happens. But yeah, I don't blame anybody for selling Litecoin on GDAX right now, considering what happened to Ethereum. I mean, who's to say that Litecoin doesn't drop to 30 cents because of a flash crash? It could happen easily. Put in that lowball offer for like $1. So Al, I do apologize for not having a chart up. I was actually too busy trying to read the comments, so my bad. But thank you for letting me know. Yeah, Pavnus, I agree. They have to let these trades stand. Even though it sucks, I lost 17 grand. Yeah, they have to. I mean, they'll lose all credibility if they reverse anything. You're all waiting till my wife gets back. Yeah, she won't be home till late. She won't be home till late. But no, this isn't something I'm going to tell her. You know, no way. You know, she'll be mad at me for a couple of days. Because then she'll think this was our down payment on the house, and it's not our down payment on the house. So, and I'm not at $0. 11 more subs to 1,100. Dude, that is sweet. That is sweet. Thank you guys for clicking on that sub button. SC, thank you so much, man. Hope the YouTube fame will make up for this. You know, the only thing I care about is that you guys learn from my mistakes. It's really what I care about. I can care less about the fame. I don't really care about that at all. That's not me. You know, I want you guys to learn from my mistakes. I don't want anybody to lose money. And I've said it in the past before. And as long as you can learn from my mistakes and as long as it helps one person out, it's like, you know what? Then I'll feel a lot better knowing that I helped that one person not make the same mistake that I made. Because, yeah, I can recover from it. And, you know, I don't let it affect me. I think positive thoughts and positive things will happen. I don't let it drag me down. But, you know, somebody else could react completely different, you know, by taking this huge loss. There are people that have, you know, I hate to say it, but there are people that have committed suicide because of a loss that they took in the stock market. It affects them completely different in a different way. And I would hate to see, you know, somebody lose their life over taking a huge hit. It's money. It grows on trees. It's paper. You know, it's fiat. I mean, I can care less. I mean, you know, even if I would have had GDAX go down to $0, you know what? It's not the end of the world. I still have my health, still have my kids, you know. To me, that's all I really need. Yeah, money is just money, to be honest with you. You know, no sense of getting emotional about money. It's not the end of the world. And really think about it this way. There are a lot more people out there in this world that are less fortunate than I am. You know, that don't have a roof over their head, that don't have food on their table. They can't put food on their table for their kids. They can't buy their kids clothes. They can't buy their kids presents for Christmas or their birthday, whatever it might be. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are just very less fortunate. And, you know, yeah, I lost 17 grand. Big deal. It's not the end of the world at all. And that's kind of the way I look at it. You know, there are a lot of people out there that just don't have a roof over their head, and they can't, you know, they're thinking about, you know, how am I going to get food tomorrow? How am I going to feed my kids tomorrow? And I'm fortunate, you know, we're able to do those things. You know, we have a roof over our head. We're able to buy clothes for our kids, and we're able to do things that we want to do. You know, money's just money. Money comes and goes, to be honest with you. Yeah, it'd be great to have it, but money comes and goes. Now, I wish I would have taken that 17,000 and actually donated it to a good cause instead of, you know, having the exchange manipulated and make money off of it somehow, some way. Teach you margin trading? No, stay away from margin trading, but I'll cover it though. I'll cover it. That's not an issue at all, but today's not the day to cover it. You're subbing too, sweet. Anybody that hasn't subbed, please, yeah, click on that sub button, you know, and watch me recover from this. It could take me a little while to recover from it. Not mentally, I'm just talking about, you know, USD wise. It'll take me a little while to recover, but yeah, just, you know, follow my journey on attempting to make a recovery, and I will make that recovery, but it'll take time though. Nah, dude. Coinbase, honestly, they should not be refunding losses at all. They should not. And yeah, you know, I'm sure there's somebody out there that took a bigger hit than I did, and they're probably like, no, I want my money back. I mean, where's the credibility? You know, where's the trust? I mean, you know, somebody bought what they liquidated at 93 bucks that I had. Somebody bought that, and that's fair. That's fair game, to be honest with you. You know, they put their low ball limit buy in at 93 bucks, and they got, you know, either my coins or somebody else's coins that got liquidated at that specific price. And that's not fair to take that away from them to give it back to somebody else. So, nah, you know, I hope they don't, to be honest with you. I hope they don't. And if they do, I think, you know, I will donate majority of that money to a good cause, if they do. And maybe you guys could recommend some, if they do, maybe you guys can recommend some of the good charities to donate it to. Not any charities that's a scam out there either. You know, maybe I'll do a YouTube video about going around, you know, downtown Philadelphia and helping out some people that really need it. Because really, I mean, that money's gone, and if I get it back, you know, it's not my money, and I would rather donate it to somebody that actually needs it. So if they refund it, yeah, somebody will get a nice donation from me. Watch the suicide headlines. Let's see, Olaf. You're interested if I will recover from this, or will my wife kill me first? Nah, she won't kill me, dude. She loves me too much to kill me. Plus, she needs my $50,000 for a down payment on a house. So yeah, I don't think she'll kill me. Because if she kills me, yeah, my kids will get it. She won't get it, and it'll take them forever to get it because they're not 18 yet. Is this only with Coinbase? Yeah, it only dropped on Coinbase. It only dropped on Coinbase. It didn't really have that much of an effect. I thought it would have a domino effect on some of the other exchanges, but it didn't. Are they allowing trading yet on? I don't think they are. Nope, it's still frozen. Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin and Litecoin are the only two things that are trading. Yeah, Jesse, I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, Coinbase won't do any. Coinbase will not do anything. No, I don't expect them to. Yeah, it is going to be fun here in the future because now you guys will actually watch me build this account. I mean, especially, if you weren't one of the first, YouTube subscribers that I had, especially when I started live streaming my trades on March 12th or March 11th, whenever it was, watching me build an $8,000 account to 22,000. Now you actually get to watch me build it from, I don't know, 4 or 5,000 to something else. We'll see. Yeah, thank you guys for subbing. I really appreciate it. And I think it's Eli Sumkor. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah, he's saying let's get you back this. We can all donate some ETH back to your cash. Nah, dude. Nah, if you want to make a donation, dude, whatever city you're in, find a homeless person, take them out to lunch. You know, maybe give them $10, whatever it might be. But yeah, nah, you don't need to donate to me, man. I do appreciate it though. Thank you so much. I appreciate the offer. You just subscribed. You want to learn more, Ramon? That's awesome. I'm glad you subscribed, man. Thank you so much. Let's see. Keith is saying the spread must have been 90% when the crash happened. GDAX must have made so much money from the trading. I'm sure they made a lot of money, and I wish I was watching that order book to see what that looked like. So Ethereum BTC in post-only mode. Interesting. So they don't want anybody hiding their orders. Yep, there you go, man. Taliz said it perfectly. Yeah. Basically, he's saying, I don't think what happened is complicated at all. It's not. Someone sold a ton of ether and dumped the books to nothing. That's exactly what they did. Somebody sold a lot of ether, and they sold at the market level. It wasn't a limit. It wasn't a limit sell at all. It was a market sell, and it was a lot of ether, which caused a huge slippage. And I mentioned slippage in the past. There were just not enough buyers at a very specific solid price to be able to support everything that that person was selling. Or the group or whatever, whoever it might be, and they caused a huge slippage down to $13. That's huge. Better to be honest. Well, you know what, dude? I'm always honest with my wife. Now, if she asks, I'll tell her. But if she doesn't ask, I won't tell her. Um, but yeah, she'll just be like, "All right, well, you're back in the game. You just gotta work your way back up." That's what she'd probably say. But she'd probably be like, 17 grand. Like you could have bought us a new van. Like we need a bigger car because we got 3 kids now. She would have probably been like, we could have bought a van and we need a car. Now you got to make up that 17 grand. And when you make up that 17 grand, then you're going to take it out and buy me a car. Oh, I'm sure it emptied the whole buy side, dude. I'm sure. I'm sure. And I wish I was recording this thing. CoinDesk says you will get refund. I don't know, dude. I'll have to read Coinbase or CoinDesk and see what they say. I doubt it. Yeah, thank you for all the new subs. And ECS, thank you for writing that message out because I can't really see how many subs we have. But yeah, thank you so much for who's subbing. That kind of makes my day. These thumbs up and the subs kind of makes my day. It'll actually motivate me to do more of these videos. So thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Yeah, it shouldn't have dropped that much, just on a huge sell. It shouldn't have, and that's always a magic word, shouldn't have. But yeah, if it was hacked, then yeah, I can see, if there was this massive panic selling from tons of people, yes. But yeah, just one big seller, unloading, yeah, should not have caused it. And there should have been really, I mean, they should have, protections in place to not allow something to slip that much so fast. Now, if it had actually fallen from, 400 down to 13 in a month, yeah, you know what? I've seen that happen. Not from 300, but I've seen things fall drastically, within a month or so. Not to do it within 1 minute or several seconds. Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, after I get off this live stream, I'm gonna definitely do a little research just to see exactly what might have happened. But yeah, if you guys have any news of what might have happened, yeah, definitely feel free to share them with us. Because if it happens once, it can happen again, and if it happens to me, it can happen to you, and you definitely want to protect yourself. So be careful with margin. Be very careful. That's really the only thing I can say. But like I said, I mean, nobody saw this thing happening. It wasn't like I was playing margin on a on I don't know on let's see on Ripple, using tons of margin on Ripple at 28 cents, and then it drops like a penny. I mean, this is a $300 per coin crypto. Put in a sell order that's real high. Yeah, I mean, as long as Coinbase gets back up, and I can figure out exactly how many coins I have, because right now it's showing I have, okay, there we go. They just fixed it. All right, I have 3.63. All right, because before when I turned margin off, it was showing 0. All right, so I got 3.63 out of 112 point something something something. I got to make sure I don't spend it all in one place. Four more subs to hit 1,400. Come on, guys. If you haven't subbed, click on that sub button. Especially if you learn something about trading and you're actually excited that I've done this live stream where I lost a lot of money. I don't think any traders would actually be live streaming if they lost that much money like I have. How did I lose 1,700? Oh man, I've been talking about it. Yeah, basically I got liquidated. I bought at 250, bought 112 Ethereums at 250, and that was actually before I went out. I put in a lowball offer, and right before I got back, the big tank happened, so they liquidated the account. Yeah, I'm just curious to see how many people this affected and how many people lost. I'm not going to say thousands because it's definitely more than thousands of dollars. Millions of dollars. How many people lost millions of dollars due to this crazy debacle? A lot. A lot of people lost money in this. Sniffin, thank you so much. You're going to subscribe with 2 personal and a work account. That's awesome, man. I'll get 1 million hits with a live reaction from my wife. Yeah, dude, I should. Later on down the road. Later on down the road, after we move and get situated, I got to get a webcam and things like that. And after I build this account back up, yeah, I'll tell her the story, and just to get her reaction of how she's going to react. Maybe I'll have to tell her, like, I lost everything. I don't have any money. I lost everything. We're losing our house. We got to sell our kids. So CNBC is reporting denial of service hack on exchange. Interesting. Do I think ETH will get back to 350, 370? I don't know, man. Not anytime soon. I don't think it'll do it, within the next couple of days. But yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what's going to happen with the price action once they allow trading. Have they allowed trading yet? I think they have. Let's see. I thought I saw the order book moving, but no trades were being executed. So, I mean, a lot of selling. I mean, buying is non-existent right now, below 297.09. I mean, we got 48, we got 42 that are looking to buy at this current price, but we got almost 2,100 or possibly 2,200 that want to get rid of it at 301.98 and 302. Another 598 at 305. So yeah, I mean, this price could come down. It really could. What's a margin call? Very good question. Margin call is basically it's at a specific price that the exchanges will not allow the price to dip below, that they will actually liquidate that account, or they'll sell what you have in order to satisfy the margin. So I owed, I was using $10,000 as leverage. I had $18,000 of my own money. I was using $10,000 of leverage. So total $28,000 that I went in with. So their call price had to be, and I don't know, I didn't look at the call price because I wasn't here when it executed, but their call price was probably, $100, let's just say. So when the price gets to 100 or below, they automatically sell what they need to sell in order to satisfy the amount of money that's owed. That's called a margin call. And they will instantly do that. They don't need your permission to do it. If you get into crypto trading, make sure you don't have wife. Really with any trading, I mean, not to say that you shouldn't have a wife or kids, but it's stressful. It is stressful, especially, you got responsibilities. I mean, if you're single, yeah, it's great. I mean, cryptocurrency is 24/7, but I have 3 kids, and they definitely eat up a lot of my time, and it's hard for me to really focus in on trading, and I have a lot of distractions that happen. But, I've kind of learned to deal with those distractions because I've been trading for a while now, and I've kind of learned to deal with them as best as I can and be able to focus in, on my kids and be able to have that time to focus in on trading. But there's a lot of people that really can't handle it. But yeah, if you're single and you're just trading, yeah, it's perfect because really you only have yourself to worry about. Yeah, Sherry, I told you not to use it because you're new to trading. And I said, yeah, stay away from margin. Stay away from margin. I've utilized margin numerous times. I mean, this is not the first time that I've utilized margin. And I would have had no issues at all with this $10,000 margin that I just recently used. But the price dropped from my 250 entry down to 13 bucks. That happens. Of course, they're going to liquidate the account. They're going to sell what they need to sell in order to satisfy that margin. But if the price would have only dipped to 200 and then stabilized and came back up, I would have been fine. I would have been perfectly fine. I would have been down basically, $5,000 or $5,600 if it would have stopped at 200 bucks and came back up, but I would have made that money back. I wouldn't have panicked and sold at 200 bucks if I was in front of a computer watching it. But I mean, it dropped to 13 bucks within a matter of seconds, not days, not minutes, seconds. Let's see. You were up 150% profit one day. You were thrilled, then lost it all the next day. It's a pain in the ass. Day trading is safer. Yeah, I mean, long-term investors, I mean, stay away from margin, first of all. But I mean, long-term investors are rewarded because they're not watching this volatility. They're not watching the up and down swings. So, I mean, anybody that had Ethereum, let's just say you had 50 Ethereums that you used with your own capital, you weren't utilizing margin. Your 50 Ethereums are still 50 Ethereums. It doesn't matter what the price is, even when the price dropped to 13 bucks. It's just a USD value that would have gone down. But yeah, and then it would have come right back up to 300 bucks. So then you would have been perfectly fine. It takes a special wife for sure. Yeah, man, you're absolutely right. All right, let me get to some of these comments, and then I definitely got to go. Sydney, thank you so much. I appreciate the love, and yeah, I'll keep doing these live streams. I will. I'll still keep doing them. It's not going to affect me. I mean, just the position I take is going to be affected. I'm not using an algorithm to trade. I don't know anybody that is. Yeah, the GDAX, and that's what I'm waiting for. I see the order book moving, and that's why I went back to this. I see the order book moving, but they're not allowing any trades right now, and the price really hasn't moved. And that's kind of what I was waiting for. Since I saw the order book moving, I was like, all right, so they're going to allow trading to open back up, and that's currently what I was waiting for. Let's see, Anthony, it's not the margin, it's the stop. A stop order triggers a market sell. I never had a stop order, but basically the margin call was the stop order, basically. I mean, if you really think about it, indirectly it is. So the margin call indirectly is a stop order. You had some low balls on GDAX. You bought Litecoin yesterday and closed the low balls. Yeah, I mean, as long as you're in the profit, that's great. But yeah, I'm surprised. They're allowing trading on the two cryptocurrencies, but they're not allowing trading on Ethereum. Yeah, I don't know who keeps saying this or where you guys heard that someone bought 5,000 Ethereums at 10 cents. They couldn't have. No way they couldn't have. There's no way at all. It never got to 10 cents. Now, if it got to 10 cents, yes, I would believe it. But the low was $13. So I don't know where you're hearing that somebody bought 5,000 Ethereums at 10 cents. That's just not feasible. It could have never happened. Yeah, it's definitely not true. I'll have to take a look at that Twitter. But yeah, there's no way that they could have sold at 10 cents. It never got to 10 cents. Or somebody bought it at 10 cents. The hashtag on GDAX is exploding. Oh, dude, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I am sure. Nah, I will never use Poloniex. I'm sorry. GDAX updated the drop. I don't know if they have yet. I don't see anything. Thank you for subbing 1350, Walton. Come down to 10 cent now on the chart. Yeah, I don't think it's going to come down 10 cents. I don't know. We'll have to see how this order book plays out, to be honest with you. I mean, there are sellers that are stacking up. You know, we got about 2,300 between the price of $302 and $198. So we'll see exactly how this plays out. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a great community, and I'm glad you're, you know, you're stating that you're fortunate to be here discussing Ethereum. And you know, I want you guys to learn from my mistakes. Definitely learn from my mistake, and that's well, really nobody knew this was going to happen. But you know, margin can be dangerous, and you guys are seeing firsthand how dangerous margin is, even though nobody really fathomed for Ethereum to drop to 13 bucks. Is this going to be the crash now? I don't know. I mean, you know, it's not a lot of sellers that are stacked up, but who knows? Once they open up trading, there could be a lot of sellers that are stacked up. Because I'm sure it scared a lot of people on what just really happened. I'm sure a lot of people are terrified now, saying, "Wow, I need to get out. Let me lock in this profit, or let me just minimize the loss because I got in at 320 bucks. I don't want to, you know, withstand a drop to 13 bucks or 15 bucks. It's a possibility." Scott, have a great night, bud. Oh, 1350. Yeah, actually, I grew up in Philly, man. You know, that's my stomping ground. I don't currently live in Philly now, though. Notification turned on. That's sweet. But yeah, if you're from Philly, man, you know, we can definitely do a meet and greet. My parents live in Philly. I'm usually in Philly, occasionally here and there. You know, I'll let you guys know when I'm going to be in Philly when I do a live stream. What does a dingy bell sound mean? I didn't hear a dingy bell at all. Did you? You know, Rich, I don't mind. So I really, I mean, I have no clue, to be honest with you, about mining. I don't trust a lot of the cloud mining, and to have your own rig is pretty expensive. I would definitely try to find somebody that, you know, specializes in mining, and maybe talk to them. I wouldn't be, you know, I don't want to sit here and BS you. I really can't give you any advice on mining at all, considering I don't mine. I'm sure you know that, Jonathan, there's somebody out there is pissed off about this, and they will probably be filing some sort of lawsuit. I'm sure it's going to happen. You know, we'll have to kind of wait and see on how this pans out. Reddit user sets ETH stop loss at 316 on GDAX. It executes the entire order at 10 cents due to a flash crash. Wow, because of slippage. Yeah, stop loss. Well, you know, I mean, yeah, it's slippage. But it never got to 10 cents, though. It never got to 10 cents. We would see that on the chart. The chart indicates that it got to 13 bucks. So there's no way that it could have executed at 10 cents. I don't believe that. Now, if the price got to 10 cents, yes, I could believe that. But the price never got to 10 cents. I mean, you know, if you told me it executed at 13 bucks, I would believe that, but not 10 cents. Yeah, once I get off this live stream, I'll definitely have to check out CoinDesk and read up about some crazy stuff that's happened. Alan, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. And if you haven't subbed yet, I mean, I love seeing new names on this live stream, dude. This is awesome. Even though it's a bad day for me. But I want to share my experience with you guys, and that's the only reason why I'm doing a live stream. I mean, I did a live stream earlier today, and I usually do these live streams on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays only. But, you know, I wanted to share my loss with you guys, and I could have been on the sideline just sitting there and being pissed off, not doing a live stream, not sharing this with you guys. But I wanted to share this experience, this loss, this bad experience, really, in the hopes that, okay, you know what, I hope somebody learns from my mistake, and I hope somebody learns from that mistake, you know, by utilizing all of margin, you know, because really, I mean, it didn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. It could drop, and we've seen it drop. It's something that we never expected to drop, you know, from 300 to 13 bucks. Nobody saw that coming, but it can happen. And I mean, if I saw that coming, I wouldn't have put that margin order in. But yeah, nobody saw it coming. Yeah, I got to research that 10-cent fill because I don't believe it. I really don't, unless the charts are lying and the charts are not being accurate. What do I predict for Ethereum tomorrow? I don't know. We'll have to see exactly what it does when it opens up. Really, we have to see what it does. Let's see. You just read a rumor that a Coinbase account with 1,000 Ether was hacked and liquidated, which was also 99% of the buy orders. If that's true, then yeah, Coinbase has definitely got to make things right, if that is the case. But now, if it was just a trader hitting the wrong button and selling when they didn't mean to sell, or, you know, putting in that, you know, they were selling at 13 bucks when they meant to sell at, I don't know, let's just say 1,300 bucks. You know, they decided to put in a very off the wall sell order. Just, you know, maybe they were going on vacation. If that was the case, yeah, you know what? I lost it. You know, those are things that happen. But yeah, if they were hacked, yeah, that's a whole different story there. Yeah, stay away from margin trading. Exactly. Let's see. It doesn't make sense to sell so much at once. Why would they do it? And why wouldn't they do it in chunks? I don't know. I really can't answer that. Fat fingers, you know, drinking and trading, you know, those drinking and trading don't go hand in hand at all. They do not. So, I mean, there could be different possibilities of what happened, but we have no clue at all until they actually come out and say, you know, this is what happened, and this is, you know, Coinbase coming out with it and saying this is what happened. We really won't know. My son is gloating because Doge is stable. Yeah, dude. Even though he's down a little bit, you know, I purchased it for him at 136. Yeah, I think 136 satoshis. Yeah, I mean, it's down, you know, whatever, 25 satoshis, which is a lot better than being down, you know, from 300 bucks to 13 bucks. Yeah, he's definitely doing a lot better than I am. That's the truth. Okay, Archie, you saw that $13. I mean, I don't know what I would have done if I would have seen it drop from 300 to 200, you know, 150, breaking 100, breaking 80, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. I don't know what I would have done. I would have had it blink and be like, am I awake? Is this really happening? Am I dreaming? It triggered all the stop orders. Oh yeah, definitely triggered everything. I mean, that's what causes the domino effect. Yeah, you know, I hope they do a thorough investigation, you know, because I definitely, and I hope there's going to be transparency where they're going to be accurate, you know, with their investigation. And if that's the case, that's great. But yeah, I would definitely like to know what happened. Definitely would. A well fat finger and a sell order. Yeah, possibly, man. Yeah, and that's the problem, Ryan. You hit it on the head, man. It's unregulated market. It is an unregulated market. Trading resumed. Did it really? Nothing yet. Let me hit refresh on. I don't see any trading resumed yet. Unless after I refresh, maybe it will. Yeah, I don't see trading resumed yet. At least on my side. The order book still shows $301.05, and that was at 7:09. So 7:09, yeah, actually. So trading must have resumed, but I'm not seeing anything. But the order book does indicate that trading has resumed, considering at 1900 hours, which is 7 o'clock. There have been a couple of trades that went through, but it hasn't caused a crash yet. So still kind of stable at 301.05. Maybe it's Coinbase that's actually selling. It's lagging. Hit refresh, maybe. Hit refresh. Maybe that'll help. Oni, have a great night, bud. I'll talk to you on Slack. All right. All right. We got some candlesticks. Yeah. Let me get out of the 1 minute. Go to the 5 minutes. $13. I don't know. Not 13,000. $13. If that's in regards to my question. Yeah, it dropped to $13. Ryan, if you're still on this, I never said anything about a lawsuit, bud. And I did. You know, I mean, if you watch the beginning of this video, I said ultimately I'm to blame for this. I've never blamed Coinbase or GDAX for this. So I don't know where that comment is coming from, bud. So yeah, I don't. You know what? I'm usually a nice guy, man, but you know what? I don't appreciate that comment, Ryan. Yeah, I never said anything about a lawsuit, me filing a lawsuit. I said, no, dude. Yeah, I take full responsibility. I was the one who placed a trade. So if that comment was in regards to me, you just offended me. And if it wasn't in regards to me, okay, you know what? I'll take it back. But if it wasn't in regards to me, then you and I have a problem. Jeff, I don't know if I'm just getting to this message why I keep saying $13 because the price did drop to $13, and that's why I said $13. I'm not saying that the price currently right now is $13. I never said that. I said the price dropped to $13, and it did. Yeah, I got to find out where you guys are seeing that it went down to 10 cents because I don't see that at all. Yeah, I'm curious to see that, unless the charts are not displaying things properly. I mean, this indicates, oh wow, okay, this does indicate 10 cents for some reason. So earlier today it indicated $13, and that's why I was saying $13 was the low. So whoever was saying 10 cents was, that it hit 10 cents and somebody got coins for 10 cents, I do apologize because based on what I was seeing, And as before they actually had updated GDAX, it was showing 13 bucks was the low. And let's see if it actually shows that 13 bucks was the low. So here we go, right here. So, and this is why I said 13 bucks, because this was the candlestick that caused it to go to 13 bucks. 13 bucks was the low on that. So between Crypto Watch and between GDAX, they're kind of contradicting each other because now GDAX is showing that the low was 10 cents. So whoever said 10 cents, I do apologize because now I'm seeing it that it is saying 10 cents. But prior to this, it did say that it was 13 bucks. So there's a possibility now that somebody could have gotten 5,000, Ethereums at 10 cents. That's definitely a possibility. So Sydney, you're saying it didn't go to 10 cents. I mean, Coinbase is indicating it went to 10 cents, unless that's a glitch as well too. So I have no clue. I mean, there's two things that are contradicting each other. We see 13 bucks on Crypto Watch. We saw 13 bucks on GDAX, and now it's saying 10 cents was a low. So I don't know. I have a hard time believing either one. Yeah, somebody got a great deal on that. If they were able to buy it at 10 cents, woo! And they bought 5,000 at 10 cents. I gotta do my math real quick. Let's just say times 300 bucks now. It's $1.5 million. They spent, what, 50 bucks, I think? 5,000 times 10 cents is 500 bucks. So they spent 500 bucks to make $1.5 million. That's crazy. That is crazy. And I can only think of the exchange doing that. I can't think of somebody putting it in the lowball offer of 10 cents when the price is actually 300 bucks. But that's crazy if somebody did. More power to them. That's awesome. But it's still holding this price, though. It really is still holding that price. But too bad this chart sucks because of this big drop. Like, you really can't see what's going on with this chart. Johnny Walker on the rocks and trade. Oh, dude, I don't know if I could do that. I'd be asking for it. I'd be asking for it. Yeah, it hasn't really reacted in a bad way, guys. It has not reacted in a bad way, and that's pretty good. It's stable. Once trade resumed, this should have tanked if there was a lot of panic, but there isn't. So this is a good sign. Sellers don't want to crash it. Yeah, they want to gradually probably bring it down. They want to basically walk it down, possibly. Sydney, have a great night, buddy. Yeah, we'll chat again on Friday. Yeah, $299.89. This isn't bad. This is not bad at all. So someone on Twitter claimed they got liquidated without being on margin. Interesting. Yeah, they shouldn't have gotten liquidated at all. I mean, if you were holding 100 Ethereums and you purchased them at 300 bucks, it drops to 13, you should have your 100. No way you should have been liquidated at all. I mean, I don't know how much that story is true. They could have been on margin. But yeah, if they were not on margin at all and they got liquidated, yeah, that should not have happened. I mean, that's a lawsuit there. But in my situation, I've never said anything about me filing a lawsuit. I mean, it was my trade. I placed that trade. And I'll say it again. All blames are on me. I don't blame anybody at all. All right, so tooth roll production. I don't think he meant you. All right, so whoever left that comment, I forget who I responded to. Like, irritated me just a little bit. Normally, I don't get irritated at all. Normally, I take a lot of things with a grain of salt. Yeah, it was Ryan. Okay, but yeah, he probably didn't mean it towards me, but I didn't know. I'm kind of getting to these comments late, and when I saw that, I'm like, is he talking to me about it? Yeah, so I have a hard time figuring out, did it drop to 13 or did it drop to 10? I mean, we're seeing 10 cents on GDAX. The low was 10 cents. That's what we're seeing. But Crypto Watch hasn't indicated that it dropped to 10 cents. It indicates it dropped to 13 cents. Let it go. Go smack your wife around. No, buddy, I'm not a wife beater. Yeah, bots are definitely in play, man. And they'll continue to be in play. They're not going anywhere, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm curious to find out exactly what the low was. And if it was 10 cents, holy shit. From 317 bucks to 10 cents. Yeah, that's unheard of. It's never happened at all. Never seen anything drop like that. If that's the case. But 13 bucks is kind of what I saw before on GDAX. 13 bucks is what I saw on Crypto Watch. But then, yeah, once they resumed trading, it indicated 10 cents. But yeah, you're right. At this point, what difference does it make? You're absolutely right. Especially if you were a margin, you got liquidated. You're out of the game. All right, Ryan, we're good, bud. We're good, man. I just didn't know. That comment I thought was just geared towards me. But that's cool, man. I'm glad you clarified it, and we're cool, brother. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people out there are going to probably be screaming, foul on this. If they were in the same situation as I was, if they utilize margin, I mean, it's on them, and I take the blame for it. But there's going to be a lot of people that cry foul, and you can't really. The only person you have to blame is yourself. It's just like, if somebody tells you to take a trade to get in on, I don't know, I'm just going to make up a cryptocurrency. Somebody tells you to buy Ripple, it's going to $1, and you buy Ripple at 20 cents and then it goes down to 10 cents. Are you going to blame the person that told you to buy it? No, you're not. You got to blame yourself, because really, you need to do your own due diligence. You need to do your own research and not take somebody's word, for granted, saying it's going to go to $1. They have no clue it's going to $1. They're pumping it for their own gains. That's all that they're doing. But yeah, no, dude, I blame myself, and I hope anybody that's out there that was in the same situation as me, doesn't start crying foul, because really it's, they got themselves to blame. And they're not going to be able to live with themselves until they actually look at this, step back and say, you know what, I was to blame at this, and kind of live with it and end it. Oh, of course, man. Of course, Ryan. Shit will be rocking again, dude. Exactly. It takes time. It takes time to get out of this, but you know, time heals all wounds. That's kind of the way I look at it. And this Corona, Cerveza Masfina, is helping a little bit. But yeah, I can't wait to get on Twitter and see exactly what's going on with some of the people out there. I don't know if we're gonna keep going down. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how people are gonna react to that drop to either 13 bucks or 10 cents, whatever it dropped to. I have no clue what it actually dropped to. Um, Lottery win, 200,000 Ether at 10 cents. Well, nobody got 200. I'm sorry, nobody got 20,000 Ether. I mean, the volume on that, and here, let's verify the volume. It was only 8,000. All right. So volume was not that high. This is the volume bar for that candlestick. And that was 8,000. I'm sorry. Let me get to the top of that can. 8,069 was the volume on that candlestick. So there's no way somebody picked up 20,000. There weren't 20,000 available at all. It was total of 8,000 on that candlestick. How do you join Discord, Slack? We don't have Discord, but you can go to cryptotradersroom.com. There is a link at the bottom of this video, and you can sign up for our mailing list that way. And I think ECS is opening the chat room back up. It's his call. So if he ends enrollment, he'll end the enrollment. If he opens it back up, he'll open it back up. But yeah, we're probably not going to open it right now. We got a lot of people that we need to talk to. But definitely, I highly recommend signing up for that chat for our mailing list. Excuse me. And answer those questions in a truthful manner. We get a lot of those questions, and it's just like, yeah, is this person being honest or what? Or they just won't answer it at all. I mean, if you don't answer those questions, more than likely you're not going to get an invite. Answer them truthfully, and that's what we're looking for. Looking for some honest people to join a great community that we're trying to build. Nothing on the buy side. Let's see. Yeah, not much. All bots. I mean, 94, 48, 67, 20. Yeah, not much at all. I mean, if nobody's buying, nobody can sell. Nobody's going to hit that market sell button. I mean, that'll cause a huge slippage. It's so wrecked. Yeah, I mean, I don't see a panic dump. I mean, it is stabilizing. We're not seeing this crazy dump that I expected to happen really once they came back online. I expected people to start panicking. Nobody's panicking, and that's definitely a good sign. So I'm up 150 bucks because I have 3.63 ethers that I bought at 250 bucks. So I'm up a little bit. Maybe I can take my wife out to dinner with it. It might have to be like a Happy Meal at McDonald's. Yeah, I hope they do update us to see exactly what happened and how can they really prevent this from happening again, because I don't want to see this happen to anybody. Because like I said in the past, I mean, somebody might react completely different to losing 17 grand, completely different. So, I wish they come out and be truthful and say, you know what, this is what happened. These are some of the things that we're implementing to prevent this from happening again. No, I don't think it's going to go down to 200, 100, or 13 bucks. I mean, there's a good amount. There's a stability right now. There really is stability. Yeah, it's moving. I just hate looking at this chart because it seems like it's flatlined. It's hard to tell these up and down swings when it's like this. Let's get out of this. As much as I want to look at the order book, I need to be able to see a little bit more of a price action. All right, here we go. This is somewhat frozen as well, too. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a slow fall. Doesn't seem like it. They're not walking it down, that's for sure. It seems like there's just more support for it than anything else. You bought F at 310. I'm assuming you just bought it now, or did you buy it before? Just be happy with your profits. I mean, if you have profits, I mean, really anything could happen. Consider we just saw what happened. Anything could happen until really, GDAX or Coinbase comes out and says, this is what happened. This is how we're going to fix the issue and prevent this from happening again. These are some of the things that we're implementing to prevent this from happening. Until they do that, really this could happen anytime at any exchange. It can. There's no circuit breakers. Remember that. The stock market has circuit breakers to prevent things like this from happening. They don't have circuit breakers. So is that something that they're possibly going to institute? Circuit breakers to prevent a drastic fall like this? How much did I leverage? 10,000. I had 18,000 in my own capital, and then I leveraged 10,000. But I mean, all in all, I lost. Let's see, how much money do I have now? Let's see. So I lost about 3,000, all in all. Now, that was 3,000 worth of capital ever since 3 months ago. But I built up an $8,000 account to 22,000, and I just gave back all the profits plus 3,000 more. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Who said this about stop loss? Olaf. Stop loss. Yeah, if you set a stop loss at a specific price, that's what it should execute. There should not be slippage at all if you set the stop loss. But you have to set basically a limit sell in order to sell it at a very specific price. And if it does slip, it's not going to execute the remaining that you have because it slipped past it. Then you still have your coins. But stop loss, yeah, it's going to cause a slippage. Did I get my buy-in? Yeah, I bought it at 250, unfortunately. Yeah, it sucks, man, but you gotta live with it. Let's see, Olaf, if not, it would just stay on the sell side on price where you put it. Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's actually rebounding nicely. And I wish my 250 order was still in there. I mean, this would be a huge profit. Huge profit. That's kind of what I was looking for. I was looking for a nice little correction to happen, just like everything corrects and bounces right back. And that was really the game plan, to get it at a nice offer of 250, have it bounce back to 300, $50 profit per coin times 112 coins, 5,600. That was really the game plan. I had a strategy on an exit. I'm sorry, I had a strategy on an entry, strategy on an exit, and I was going to execute on them. But yeah, I mean, shit happens. Literally, shit happens. How can you tell bots in the order book? I mean, look at the order book. A lot of the orders are completely the same. You'll see 0.01, 0.01, 0001, 0.010, 1234. I mean, yeah, you'll see all same orders in the order book. No, I got a buy-in at 250, Jim Piper, 250. 281 was really what I was looking for on the live stream while I was in front of a computer to purchase 100. But since I was away from my computer, I put it to 250, $250.01. And I was expecting it to hit 250 or hoping to hit 250 while I was away and then have it kind of bounce back up to the $300 range and sell at 300. GDAX saying the seller was holding 10,000 Ether since ICO released 3 years ago and did a market sell. Oh, I knew they did a market sell. I knew that for a fact. There was no way to cause that much of a slippage. Do you agree? Who got the ETH at greater than 150 or so? Yeah, I agree on the market sell. Yes. I don't know if I agree on anything else. I don't know for a fact. Yeah, I mean, the exchanges could have got the F less than 150. That's a possibility. Or anybody that had a low ball offer. If somebody was just like, I got $1,000, I'll put in a low ball offer to buy, at $100. I'll buy 10 at $100. And yeah, they would have caught it. Do I see it going up in short term? I mean, it's going up now. I mean, it's pretty stable right now, but like I said, this can happen again. If it happens once, it can happen twice. It can happen unless these exchanges really, put in place, specific happening, like putting in circuit breakers, and basically in the stock market, they have circuit breakers where if it drops 5% within X amount of time, and I think it's like, within 3 minutes, if it drops, 5%, it halts the trading, completely halts the trading for X amount of time. And then once they, initiate trading again, if it drops or rises, 5 or 10% within X amount of time, they halt the trading again. And then once they, initiate trading again, if it drops or rises, 5 or 10% within X amount of time, they halt the trading again. And then once they, initiate trading again, if it drops or rises, 5 or 10% within X amount of time, they halt the trading again. But in the cryptocurrency market, decentralized exchanges, they don't have measures in place, and they have those things in the stock market because people have complained. The SEC is definitely heavily regulating these exchanges on the stock market to prevent people from losing money like this. Why is F329 on Bittrex? Yeah, it's going to be different prices on different exchanges. It's not centralized, so it's not going to be one specific price. Yeah, dude, it is. Always place lowball offers in. I always say it on every live stream, place those lowball offers in because, if they execute, that's great. If they don't execute, hey, you didn't lose anything, but you have the chance of it executing. And I put in lowball offers of $76 on Ethereum, a while back, and it got executed like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh, this is great. And I mean, I made a good amount of profit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've made a good amount of profit, but it just sucks to kind of give up those profits, especially when it takes you, over, 3 months, close to 3.5 months to build up that profit. All right, guys, I do got to go. It's 7:30. I was supposed to end this a while ago, but, I wanted to kind of stay on the live chat to see if GDAX was going to open up trading again, and they have opened up trading. Just, definitely keep an eye on it. If you hear of any news, feel free to share it with us either on Facebook, Twitter, share it with us because I would definitely love to find out exactly what is going on or what Coinbase decides to investigate and finds with this debacle that happened. And I hope they do put, things in place to protect other traders from losing money or investors from losing money, mainly traders, because traders are the ones that are utilizing margin. Investors are not utilizing margin. Whoever called that bottom of 10 cents is a genius. I don't think anybody could call that bottom of 10 cents. No one did. If they did, then they're on the inside. Then they knew something we didn't know. Oh, that's too funny. Let's see. Good move. You bought in earlier because you watched my video earlier. So you put in a lowball offer then, I'm assuming, Jim Piper. And before I get on, let me know what your lowball offer was. You don't have to tell me how many you bought. But I'm curious to find out what price point you put that offer in. Man, stop loss. I mean, anybody that even put a stop loss in, they didn't get it executed at a specific price. I mean, they had a huge slippage. But yeah, I'm not sure what exchange you're using, bud. Yeah, I'm gonna grab another beer, Brandon. I need another Corona, and then go smoke a cigarette. I know I need to quit. That's bad for you. Smoking is bad. If you don't smoke, don't start. It's 1:35 a.m. for you, mystery dude. Yeah, dude, get some sleep, bud. But yeah, not a problem. I'll be streaming again on Friday. Yeah, Desert Fox. I was assuming you were kidding. You bought at 0.1155. You bought at 11.5 cents. Nice. So you caught that bottom. You caught that bottom of BTC. All right. 310. Your doji is saying it's worth 39,000 USD. I don't know. It might be a glitch, man. It'd be great if it was. I'd be happy for you, bud. If you're up to 39,000 on Doge, that'd be great. I'd have to look at Doge since my son has Doge. I mean, that would mean that it was pumped. But yeah, it could just be a glitch. Smoke a bowl instead. Dude, I don't smoke anymore, man. It's been years. It's been years. And I'll be honest with you guys. Yeah, it's been years since I have. But I think, yeah, after today, if I lived out in Colorado, yeah, I would be stopping over at one of the health stores, as they call it, I guess. The alternative medicine. But no, it's been a long time. I don't know if I could. I'd probably get too paranoid. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, help me out. Click on that subscribe button. That would definitely make my day. If you find this video helpful, thumbs up. And if not, that's okay. Not a problem at all. But yeah, hope to see you guys on Friday. And definitely sign up for our mailing list. And we will open up that enrollment pretty soon and answer those questions truthfully. That's all we ask. And based on those questions that you answer, we'll be sending out some invites. But have a great night, guys, and just be careful. Protect your profits. Stay away from margin. One honest recommendation: stay away from margin. If I would have stayed away from margin, this wouldn't have happened. But I had no clue that it was going to drop to 10 cents or 13 bucks. If it did drop to 10 cents, that's just crazy. That is crazy. But yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday. Take care.